been since we've been out here, and it's at least a couple of years. So it's good to see the Cougars back in some form as both sides run out onto the ground at exactly the same time. KILSYTH in the black and the red. The Waverley Hawks wearing their away strip this afternoon in the white, blue and yellow. We've just had the reserves game finish up, and in the end it was KILSYTH 12-12-84 defeating the Waverley Hawks 9-56. As I introduce the team for this afternoon, an esteemed panel this afternoon, in commentary this afternoon, Gav Casey finally managed to get himself a Saturday off and doing what he loves, and that's calling football. Just switch on the mic.
Just new to this game, thanks for reminding me. I didn't get into a full sentence though. I sort of knew something was up.
Hang on, I can't hear myself. What's wrong?
That's right. Those little voices in my head yet to start up. But yeah, it's great to be out here at Pinks Reserve. Last time I was here, I think I got the worst pneumonia that I've ever got watching a game here. So
it always seems to be cold out here.
Memorable, if not the most pleasant. But yeah, but this is a great game because KILSYTH, they need to win one of the next two games. Obviously today they could put Glen Waverley Hawks in finals chances to bed, but it's a great game for Glen Waverley Hawks because they've got an easier run home in regards to winnable games. So there's all to play for, and that's why we're here, because we want to see who is the most valid of finalists, and got that all to look forward to, because to be honest, not sure. And it's going to take 4 quarters of football to tell me who.
It certainly is. One man who is looking forward to this one. Good afternoon to you, Brad Henderson.
Yeah, g'day Dyson. Great to be out here at Pinks Reserve this afternoon. Really the two big improvers, I guess, of Division 4 football this year, although I should mention obviously the Hawks weren't in Division 4, and probably basing that on what our expectations were at the start of the year, where I think general feeling was the Hawks would have another rough year, but they've rallied really well after a poor start. KILSYTH, they didn't have a great start to the year either, but their last 8 weeks have been fantastic. And I reckon it's going to be a great game today because we've got two informed sides, and that always makes for an absorbing encounter, plus the fact that as Gavin alluded to, it really is that proverbial 8-point game, especially as far as the Glen Waverley Hawks are concerned.
Grant Campbell, thanks to TuesTap, you'll be our resident statsman, as always, the best statsman in the business.
Good afternoon, Dyson. Great to be here as always. If you look at the stats, KILSYTH going as the firm favourites. They've won 5 out of 6 at home this season. Glen Waverley 2 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses on their away trips. KILSYTH, you were talking about the reliance on Sherlock, but if you look at the overall scoring, KILSYTH averaged 92 points and have kicked 100 points 6 times this season. Glen Waverley just averaged the 67 points and only kicked 100 points once in a game this year. So I think KILSYTH will have too much quality in today, and I'm predicting a 40-point win for the Cougars.
Wow. Grant Campbell within his first 2 minutes on air, just putting Will Taylor's theory of the pre-match to bed in terms of KILSYTH's firepower going forward. As I mentioned, you've heard his voice through the first hour of the show. Andy Paolacci in special comments this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dyson. Great to be here at Pinks Reserve, and as Brad said, we're here for what shall be hopefully be an absorbing encounter between two sides that are really challenging for the finals. As you said before, so many ramifications that can come out of this game. I was looking at both sides and speaking about the firepower with what Grant had to say. You almost get the feel that a really strong start in the first quarter from the KILSYTH side could spell danger for Glen Waverley for the rest of this game, considering that they can only kick 70 points or less per game on average. So you almost feel like a really strong 5 or 6 quarter game, 5 or 6 goal quarter game could really could really do it.
And Damian Watts and myself in special comments today. Look, it's going to be an interesting game between the two sides. KILSYTH and Glen Waverley, similar forward lines as we said, similar in their abilities, but I think KILSYTH probably have that class above in superiority across all areas of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you have a look at recent results, 8 and zip in the last 8 weeks, you can't do any better than that. So KILSYTH going to this game chock full of confidence, and there's no reason why they can't beat Glen Waverley today. And if they do, that means they've beaten every side in the division in the last 9 weeks. The perfect return. Going forward from that, Gav, I mean, how do you see today's game playing out? Is it just as simple? Is it just as simple as us saying that there's just too much firepower in the KILSYTH game, or I mean, scoring goals is one thing and all that. I mean, but we've got to look at the defences. You know, Glen Waverley have a great defence. You know, they've shown that this season. And in terms of midfield, where does this game, you know, sort of bode?
Well, yeah, it's in the ruck. I reckon it's going to be an interesting battle. Curry has been a definite great ruckman this year, and it's what KILSYTH lacked last year. But it'll be interesting to see Mark Rotunda, how he'll go at it, because he'll have to use his leaping ability because Curry's an influential player, don't you reckon, Brad?
He is. He's starting forward though, Sean Curry. He's gone to full forward alongside Jay Sherlock there in the forward pocket, and should be a great game this afternoon. It is underway, and it's Ashby who got the first effective possession. Little handball out to Mullet. Mullet's kick came inside 50. There is Curry who throws the ball on the boot, and the mark's being taken by Newman. Luke Newman then had front position for KILSYTH. He's taken the mark about 25 metres out from goal.
Just great aggression there from KILSYTH right out of the middle. They won the set of clearance and did it with such force and conviction.
So Luke Newman, pretty confident approach. He likes it off the boot, and he's made no mistake. First goal on the board for KILSYTH. The Cougars lead by 6 points, and it only took, well, less than a minute here at Pinks Reserve.
About 38 seconds in total there, Brad. So very, very quick start for the Cougars there. Glen Waverley caught on the hop there, Andy.
Caught on the hop indeed. Just weren't really concentrating, and Curry got the jump, and as did Newman. And Newman is one of those players that we spoke about that needs to stand up as being a different avenue to goal beyond Jay Sherlock.
Well, he played in front there on that occasion. That was the most important.
It's simple forwards play, but the simple game gets the job done.
Well, it was funny, we were talking about ruckman, and one tap down, 2 kicks to a full forward who was in the front position, seals the first goal within the first minute. Rucks go at it again. Rotundo kicks it, taps it forward, but it's been sharked. For KILSYTH, they go inside 50 again. At ground level, Harpick just tries to run onto it. He gets beaten to it by the defence, who holds up nicely, but the quick hurried kick has been chopped off by the coach, Lee Thompson. So it's centre forward, he hands it off. Now they're sharing it. Van Gulik looks inboard, goes from skirting around the 50, finally hands balls in to a lot of heat on the attack of KILSYTH, but again it's the defence who can't kick it clearly out, and it's been chopped off for the Cougars. They're 50 metres out looking for further options. The kick is a pass, but not a good one, spearing it in, trying to get to his teammate. It's been chopped off by the Hawks, and they're holding up nicely now as they just sort of get their bearings in this game. It's a contested ball inside 50 for the Cougars, but a free kick will go for the relief of Glen Waverley over the shoulder, and it's Sindon who will take the free kick, just taken over the shoulder by Cartwright, and from back pocket he'll be looking just to get one pass. They yet to be able to clear it successfully. Goes down the line where it's 3-on-1. It doesn't suit Meechan. He has to come in as a tackler for the Hawks. Hand pass out wide, KILSYTH share it on the wing. Kick by Mullet, goes inside 50. Only had one option. The ground level is the Hawks, but they're under a lot of pressure. Handed it back up to Mullet again. Or is it Harpick actually on the right foot, and from 40 metres out, he drills it straight through. So it's another goal to the KILSYTH through Van Gulik, and Josh Van Gulik adds their second goal to lead by 12 points.
Well, you know, Glen Waverley, they're just the architects of their own downfall. You know, twice they've tried to come out of defence, and they've just turned it straight over. The first time they were lucky to get away with it, but the second time they got punished with the ultimate, the ultimate punishment, and that was a goal. So well done to Van Gulik.
Too many numbers around the football for KILSYTH. Whenever they move it forward, it's just a weight of numbers, sheer weight of numbers that are really to the detriment of the Glen Waverley Hawks.
Yeah, they're certainly setting up the wall there. So they've done their homework, KILSYTH, and 2 quick goals, the perfect start.
There's a couple of players out there. Hopefully our boundary riders can pick up who's wearing the number 30 jumper for KILSYTH. I think I saw a number 59 out there as well, which we don't have on our list. So it's back in the middle. This is Ashby taking possession. He's all wrapped up.
Good
and
tackle.
was a good tackle. He tried to stand up in the tackle then, Ashby, but he wasn't able to get rid of the footy, and so holding the ball was paid. The free kick then to Sindon. Goes out to Billy Huxtable, puts his body over the footy. Had plenty of opposition, and just because he took a little while to trap the footy then, by the time he finally gathered it in, he had a lot of company. I think he thought he had a bit of time and space there, but just fumbled at the crucial moment, and the players came from everywhere. This is Gould, little handball out to Broad. Ball in some pretty heavy traffic and congestion just at the moment on the outer wing, in front of the interchange area, and once again a ball up to take place. So 2 goals on the board for Kilsyth. Goals through Newman and Van Gulik to start off things. Out of the middle, that is Van Gulik, who kept the kick low. It was intended for Herpich. Ball spills over the back. Huxtable throws it on the boot, very high, up and under kick, and he's put it straight out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will go to Kilsyth.
The skill level from the Hawks so far hasn't been great. They're not hitting their targets with the ball, and they're just banging it out of defence in hope.
Yeah, they're not warmed up, and they haven't come here to play thus far. It might take them a full quarter to get in the swing of things.
So we wait for the ball to come back to Kilsyth. We've got it on the outer wing here at Pink's Reserve. They get a chance to reload for another inside 50, high up and under. At good position, it's Mark. There, well done by Kilsyth. Another pass going into a vacant person. Sherlock, all on his own, took an easy mark, and he's already had 47 this year, so you should never think that he should be by himself inside 50. But even from a dead ball situation, 2 quick kicks and men all on their own for the Cougars. So from 40 metres out straight in front, they look to load up for their 3rd goal within the first 5 or 6 minutes. Waiting on a clock. Oh, there it is. 6 minutes gone, and they've got 3 goals straight, 18 to lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we're waiting for Glen Waverley to get on that scoreboard so they actually exist. There's no names, and they're not even lit up yet. So it's 3 straight goals for Kilsyth, leading by 8 points, 18 points.
Well, we saw there just Glen Waverley Hawks. The defence was all at sea. They just couldn't transition well from a dead ball situation. Then, moving into defensive mode. So they've really got to get their skates on, Glen Waverley. I spoke about 1 big quarter from Kilsyth being the difference, or could be the difference in the rest of this match. So this could be that quarter.
Back in the middle, and it's a 3-goal lead. As you say, Andy, it's some worrying times here for the Hawks. They need to get a quick reply out of defence. Ball comes out to Cruz. Not a great kick again. Broad had plenty of time to gather it in, though. His handball was okay. Got it to McMillan. Chain of handballs. Broad. That's better footy, as you say. The kick comes forward. It's a lovely kick onto the chest of Potts. Mitchell Potts sliding in to take the mark. Too far out to score, you would think. And
it's too congested inside 50, so he's going to have a bit of a ping here.
Good play, Mitchell Potts.
He's going to have a shot. It would take a good kick. Long way out from goal, but he seems fairly confident. So Mitchell Potts, can he get the Hawks first on the board? Leans back on the kick, hangs it way out to the right, and it was a pretty ambitious kick, and it was beyond him, out on the full. Soupy Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
That was the first inside 50 for the match for Glen Waverley. Kilsyth already with 7.
7.5 minutes that took.
I don't mind Potts having a shot on goal there. They desperately need some scoreboard pressure, and maybe a little over-ambitious, but something they needed to do.
Lancaster got it back from Doyle. Kicks up towards the middle of the ground to Curry, but Curry couldn't quite drag that one in. Little handball spills clear from Joyce, but it was intercepted by Gavin Cruz. Cruz's kick to the outer wing, and good spoil there coming from behind was Noonan, and it will be a boundary throw-in outer side of Pink's Reserve. We've gone 8 minutes in the first quarter, and it's Kilsyth 3 goals on the board. Glen Waverley Hawks yet to score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Interesting to see Lee Thompson doing the ruck work early in this game. Just probably like to get involved, get into the heart of the game. So Curry is up forward and Thompson doing the ruck against Rotunno. And it's again from the ball in going to be a ball up because it went to ground level and was pounced upon by a pack of players. So it's half forward for Glen Waverley. They're yet to score. Already trailed by 18 points in this crucial game for the season. It's make or break for the Hawks, so they'd like to get a score on the board as soon as possible. Meechan couldn't keep it in. And again, it's on the outer side, out of bounds of Pink's Reserve, about 60 metres around from Glen Waverley's goals. The conditions seem quite benign, so one end shouldn't favour another from my early observations, but always ready to be told differently by co-commentators, special commentators. But thankfully no over the top telling a different story. Ground level, as we've got a break in the play. It's a bit now stop-start in terms of the ball hits the ground, player taken down, and McMillan, who grabbed the ball, was taken down in a tackle too roughly, and it's either a push in the back or over the shoulder, so it'll be a resulting free kick for 60 metres around from their goal. McMillan hands it off, so they've got a chance to load up. We've tried to spear a pass, but the defence doing well. And Wrigley, the man in front position, had a chest mark to take at last line of defence.
Yeah, you won't have too many marks that are easier to take than that one, Caleb Wrigley, but his kick wasn't so good. Found its way to Sindon for Glen Waverley, who has a bit of time now to steady, bangs it forward. Looks for the contest. Mmmm was involved there. Hasn't had a touch just yet. Looking forward to seeing what he can do this afternoon. Kick up towards half back, and King there got a mark or a free kick. Just copped one around the neck, so he takes the kick now. Moves it up towards the wing position. KILSYTH will bang it forward. It's a poor kick though, and it's been marked there by Rattano for the Glen Waverley Hawks. Rattano's kick out towards McMillan, and McMillan took the mark just inside the field of play. Goes very short, barely the required distance then to Wisniewski. And Oliver Wisniewski, he goes short as well. So they are starting to hit their targets, the Hawks. Luke Broad, long kick forward. Mmmm had front position, got hands to it, couldn't quite drag it in. Takes possession now, feeds out a little handball. Had Dunn in support. KILSYTH though, they did well to hustle then and win the footy. It was a poor kick though, clearing the mark safely held by Eastman, who comes inboard, goes short to Rattano. Rattano doesn't waste any time. Kicks to full forward and front position then was owned for the Hawks, and the mark safely taken.
Done.
In front position by Dunn.
Good considered build-up there by the Hawks. Damo, what do you think of their short game? Is it the way forward to get back in this game, or you know, is it better for them to sort of load up and get it right to the player like Dunn?
Well, it has been beneficial because they're getting their hands on the football and possessing it quite well in the last couple of minutes.
So Dunn, has he stuck it home for the Hawks first? Yes, he has. And a goal on the board, 12 points the deficit now. That was an important goal for the Glen Waverley Hawks, kicked by Jesse Dunn.
They're having greater system now, Andy. At least Dunn was in the front position there, and the kick was on target. Yeah,
and it certainly favoured the forward, and Dunn's a big, strong boy, and yeah, he just protected the space and took a great mark. Just quickly, we should find out from Daniel Joyce who number 30 and number 60 are for the
number 4
KILSYTH, and number 4 too. So a few numbers to chase up there for Daniel Joyce.
Thanks to LifeCare.
Thanks to LifeCare.
So it's Sean Curry to take the ruck duties against Rattano. And they go at it. Curry wins the tap, but it's sharked by McMillan. His ball is smothered. Curry gets there to just kick it while he gets tackled. He gets the long, high ball to centre forward, but a bit of a push and shove, and the umpire adjudicates that Glen Waverley were impeded, and Huxtable takes it at centre back. He's got a short on in Potts, ignores him and goes into the centre of the ground. Nice. Luckily enough, the pass was pinpoint to Pape. And Pape looks forward, goes to half forward, a little bit wider, getting good position to mark it. And Glen Waverley continue to run on. It's in the hands of Mmmm. Mmmm won't be going for goal, but short pass it nicely in, and Dunn again just leads onto it, keeps the body in front and takes it out in front of the eyes for another mark. 30 metres out, about a 45-degree angle, and now they can close the game back to a 1-goal differential. So it just was a matter of getting confidence, getting on the board. Those kicks that were missing targets from defensive 50 is now meant that they've sort of settled into this game with purpose. Here is Dunn. Not much bad about that, but Curry's on the last line, and just before it drifts off to the left, he punches it through for a minor score. So Glen Waverley at 1-1-7, trailing on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. KILSYTH for 3 straight goals, 18.
It's just kicks to advantage. It's just such a simple game when it comes down to it. You know, as soon as you start hitting targets, the results will follow.
Long kick back in. Plenty of distance on that kick in, and it's in the end, it's just bounced its way all the way to the middle of the ground, but the free kick's been paid to the Hawks, and it's Potts. Mitchell Potts drives it forward, finds Sindon in a bit of space there, and he doesn't waste any time, quickly plays on, put himself under pressure though, had his kick partly smothered. Handball was shot out to Wisniewski. Mmmm at full forward takes the mark.
Commitments,
and Adam Mmmm, yeah, he had front position, but he had to take the bump as he took the mark. He did that, didn't drop the mark, and he's been a real live wire this year for the Hawks. Plenty of goals from Adam Mmmm.
He's certainly getting his hands on the ball there, Brad, and you know, now he gets his first opportunity to kick his 31st goal for the season. leading goal kicker for the Hawks.
Yeah, and 7 last week, of course. A big 7-goal haul. So Adam Mmmm slots it through, makes no mistake, and 2 goals now on the board for the Glen Waverley Hawks, 2-1-13, trailing KILSYTH 3 straight goals in the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Last 7 inside 50s have gone Glen Waverley's way after KILSYTH had the first 7.
Kicked 7 of 11 last week for the Hawks.
That was a great contested mark too. Just wanted the football more on that occasion.
He committed to it. Yeah, that's it.
So they've actually got 2 real good options now, Glen Waverley, in Mmmm and Dunn. So we were talking about firepower. They can get on the board as the KILSYTH win the centre clearance once more. The kick to half forward's just been knocked back by the defence, and Huxtable picks it up close to the boundary line, tries to share it his way out of it, but Mullet now chops it off on the 50 and spears a pass inboard. Centering ball finds his teammate on the lead, and KILSYTH lining up for their 4th in the hands of Newman, who's already kicked 1.
It's funny, you know, this could almost be a steadying goal. You know, in the first 5 minutes of this match, we definitely thought that wouldn't be the case, but they really need this one, KILSYTH.
So from 30 metres out, maybe directly in front, he's hooked it a little. The umpire's going to his right, and it's a miss to the left for Newman. So it's now 3-1-19, a 1-goal lead as Glen Waverley Hawks at 2-1-13, 16 minutes as we go boundary side for LifeCare Croydon.
Just those number updates for you guys. So 30 for KILSYTH is Scott Irvine, 60 Ryan Godinson, and 4 is Michael Johns.
Thank you.
Well, that's good to know, because there was a chance there where Irvine seemed to get the ball every second possession, and it sort of stops you in your tracks when you don't know who to call.
So Burden's kick in was being well marked then by Sherlock. He elects to play on now, floating kick from Sherlock, but it's been marked then by Robbie Huxtable, who's been very good in this first quarter for the Hawks, finding plenty of the footy. Really, the mark should have been held then by Burden. Not sure what was he trying to do then, trying to maybe palm it to his teammate who was nearby, but in any case, he should have taken the mark. Boundary throw in broadcast side right in front of our position here. Vantage point in the pavilion, Pinks Reserve. Free kick will go to Broad for a push in the back against Fogarty. And 25-metre penalty as well. Wants to play on Luke Broad, doesn't really want to take the penalty. Almost feels like that's going to slow him down a bit, but the umpire's insisting that the penalty be paid. It's coming back to Luke Broad, so pretty short 25 metres, I would have thought. It's more like a 15-metre penalty, that one.
Not a real estate agent.
Floating kick by Broad to a big pack. Sherlock takes possession. And they almost fight over it then, the Cougars. Handball was shot out to Ashby. Ashby's kick kept very low again. The mark dropped by Burden. Another one he probably certainly could have held. Fogarty's kick tumbles forward. Mullet kept his feet, does really well.
Yes.
Great footy from Ben Mullet. He did that superbly, kept his feet. He stayed in the contest and then was able to, just on a very slight angle, bend the ball through the goals and put KILSYTH on the board. It's a 12-point lead now for the Cougars.
Damo, that was just pure brute strength.
Absolutely, and great reading of the play as well. He knew that he had a number of acres around him, really, once he got past his initial opponent. And again, another KILSYTH goal emanating from a Glen Waverley turnover in the centre.
The experience there by Mullet, some could say he pushed his opponent out of the way, but the umpire didn't, and that was the main thing. Open goal in the end. Mullet converts the 4th for KILSYTH. They jump back out to a 2-goal lead. Back in the middle, it's still hotly disputed. The hand pass fires out to no one in particular, and it's still a hot ball with Broad getting onto it. He gets tackled as soon as he got it. The hand pass comes out the back to Wrigley, and he skirts a hand pass off the half back, but they can't get it going until now. Lancaster now got some open room, just dumps it as long as he can into the forward 50. It's the left forward pocket, the first time it's really gone out there for KILSYTH, and it sees its way out of bounds 40 metres around from their goal. So it's a hot ball, it's hard to get open space, and even then it's a rush to think where the next possession has to go for the benefit of your team. Ground level again, another contested ball, and it will see itself out of bounds as we cross again to the LifeCare Croydon boundary riders for another update.
Yeah, Luke Broad has just come from Glen Waverley. It looks like a left ankle injury, so I'll just keep an eye on him for you guys.
Thank you very much. That's
Daniel Joyce.
it's interesting now as the ball comes out, and it's Sherlock who's got the ball 40 metres out, and the ball just come from the back of the boundary throw in and worked its way to Sherlock to get another goal on the board. He's second, and goal number 5 for KILSYTH. They now lead by 18 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's 5-1-31. Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13.
Well, Andy, you asked for KILSYTH to steady, and they've done so in the best possible fashion and with great conviction and skill, really, but by their top liners.
Yeah, well, the cream comes to the crop in these sort of situations, and Joe Sherlock is certainly one of those players, not only for KILSYTH, but in Division 4 football in the EFL. And, you know, he's looming large as a potential game breaker for this match today.
Not just up forward, though. He's wandering
everywhere
across the ground.
Yeah, he really is that power forward.
18 points, the lead now once again for KILSYTH. It's been a good first term for them. Might get Soupy to check shortly who's been the better starters of these two sides this year, who's generally been getting off to good starts throughout season 2015. Certainly today, KILSYTH have been the better.
KILSYTH have won 7 opening quarters this season, Glen Waverley 8.
Wow.
Thanks very much. Thanks to Choose Tap. Right on the money then, Soupy. Thank you. High throws it up, so pretty even between the two sides over the course of the year. There's a free kick. Holding the ball will go to Rotano for the Glen Waverley Hawks. So Mark Rotano elects to kick out to McMillan, who's in a bit of space. McMillan keeps the kick low to a contest. Bit of aerial ping pong. Lancaster there, pretty happy to see the ball to the boundary line for a throw-in.
Had it been done there, that would have broke his fingers if he even got his hands towards trying to mark that pass.
It was coming in pretty fast.
And square.
By throws it up. Tap was won by Dunn. Out of defence, the Cougars switch to this broadcast side of the ground, and the mark taken there by Van Gulik. Handball over the top to Ashby. They share it nicely here, the Cougars. Wrigley got the little handball off to Van Gulik, who's kicked from the wing position. He's marked at half forward by Sherlock. Good footy from the Cougars. And he's been on fire in this first term. Jay Sherlock kicks it with all he's got, and for some of the journey it looked like it was going pretty well, but it just faded off to the right. Minor score. And 2 goals won in this quarter for Jay Sherlock. KILSYTH 5-2-32. Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
The Hawks need a goal, don't they, just to settle the momentum down.
Yeah, do they what? You know, they're being very un-Hawks-like in their defence so far. You know, usually they sort of keep teams to somewhat of a low score, but conversely, they have not much chop up forward. They really need to get that goal.
And Sherlock did well to rise over the top, and he sort of hanged over the top to take that mark before, but the kick-out's gone straight to Harpy, and he's taken the mark 50 metres out. So I don't even know if the fullback had a man in his eye to pass to, but it got nowhere near one of the men in white.
He looked like he was trying to pass it to Andrew Harpage. It was the perfect pass.
Yeah. So from 45 metres out, he'll go across the white line soon. He's really putting some leverage into that right boot. Doesn't get the journey of 50. It just misses to the right, but it's still in play as the KILSYTH men go for the mark right on their last line. Kept it down forward a metre. So Glen Waverley Hawks under plenty of pressure. Tap one down, but it is KILSYTH roving. But the tackle comes in quick enough to make sure that it couldn't be taken any further down the track by Goodinson. And his hand pass goes over his head and out of bounds.
Just a quick running score thanks to the local burger company. Baronia 4-5-29, leading up a gully 1 behind.
Oh, wow.
So it's roving it by Eastman. Gets his handball out. Now they clearing kick, but it's a lot of red and black in the centre of the Pinks reserve. Kick smothered, which is beneficial because McCoy's on the end of it. So from halfback he loads up, but he runs straight towards the defence, kicks it into the nearest man, and he goes in again. There was 5 red and black around McCoy, but he jumps on the ball and taken over the shoulder. Lucky enough because he had no help in the centre of the ground. So Eastman goes backwards to go forward, goes to the opposite flank. So on the outskirts of Pinks Reserve, now the ball comes inboard. It's a dangerous one, but they've still got it in hand, Glen Waverley Hawks. They need to beat some tackles. Eastman ducks, now hand pass to
Look at
Another
the
defender,
pressure.
but that's a great tackle. Eastman couldn't go anywhere, and eventually he's called for holding the ball. Brilliant play, and it's Doyle who'll get the hand pass off to Wrigley. Wrigley's pass is beautiful out right side, 40 metres out. Mark's been taken by KILSYTH, and they seem to have had the numbers in the middle. And again, when the ball came out, they had some flankers out wide, and it's Goodinson who's got the mark, and he'll have a set shot from 50 metres out. Difficult, he's close to the boundary, probably a 60-degree angle, so we're right behind the kick now. It'll be a great one if he can get it. And on the left boot, he's a deliberate approach. Skirts out to the left just to get some more power in the boot. It drops short by 10. Flyers at it. Do KILSYTH claim the mark? No, it's a push in the marking contest. Didn't see that myself, but thankfully Glen Waverley got the benefit of doubt through the umpire.
Pitts takes the mark in the back pocket. And
he's kicked it backwards and it's gone for a point.
Oh, gee, I thought he had to kick it back because the umpire was calling the ball back. But in fact, Pitts tried to kick across goal and he's actually kicked it through the goals for a minor score. So that's a pretty elementary mistake.
Let's hope they don't lose by a point.
That one could appear on Almost Footy Legends.
Well, if they win by 5 points, it's done all right.
Well, we asked them to kick a goal, but not at that end.
So the kick by Cruz out towards half-back, and it's gone over the boundary line just in front of the electronic scoreboard here at Pinks Reserve, which reads that it's KILSYTH leading by 20 points at this stage. Big, high, up and under kick. Sherlock set himself for it. Was fisted away from him, though. Mullet takes possession now again. He stands up in the tackle, so strong and such good balance. Got it out to Ashby, and Ashby's kicked to full forwards. Almost marked. Gee, he had a lot of that, Newman. Maybe a little unlucky not to be paid the mark. KILSYTH still keeping the footy in possession, though. Handball was shot out to Sherlock.
He was kicking danger for a kick.
No, he was just held off the defender. He got pulled off the ball, and he put his arms out like, look at me, and thankfully the umpire did.
Mullet almost takes a mark at half forward for KILSYTH. Crashes into the pack, and he wants the footy desperately. Can't get it at the moment. With thanks to Choose Tap, Soupy Campbell.
Free kicks 10-2 in favour of Glen Waverley Hawks, and much to the disappointment of the Cougar fans. Yeah,
it'd be good if you had a map to show where all those free kicks. It seems like in the defensive 50 they're under a lot of pressure, but one friend they have seems to be the umpire. Not that he's making wrong decisions at all.
Big differential, isn't it? 10-2. So
is it KILSYTH's attack on the ball though?
Yeah, well they're quite ferocious, so it might be over commitment to the tackles. And another free kick this time goes to KILSYTH. So Curry, being the tall man, hard to move out of the way, just got shoved aside. Even though he was sort of still grabbing the ball, it didn't seem to affect him that much. So from 50 metres out, Curry's going to have a shot. He's on a 45-degree angle just in front of the pavilion here at Pinks Reserve. Left footer, he's trying to get some length in the kick, and he throws it up in the air. It does get the distance, but just misses to the right side for another minor score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's 5-4-34. That is KILSYTH leading Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13. Let's go down to the boundary for LifeCare, Croydon.
Just an update on that earlier injury. That was actually Tim Pape coming off of that left ankle injury earlier, but he is up and jogging on the boundary line, so he looks like he's about to come back on fairly soon.
So Dunn brings the ball back in to that outer side. Plenty of players camped under it. This ball was shot out nicely. Then chance here for KILSYTH, and it is a goal coming up for the Cougars. Sherlock has kicked it. That's 3 for the quarter for Jay Sherlock, so he's on fire in this first term. 3 goals, 1 he's kicked, and it is a 27-point lead for KILSYTH. 6-4-40, Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and this is a big first quarter by the Cougars.
Yeah, I said that big first quarter could be the difference in this game. That was Jay Sherlock's 50th goal, by the way. So as soon as he kicked that, he celebrated it. That's how dead-eye Dick he was.
It's called raising the bat.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
He knew it, didn't he?
He knew as soon as it struck the boot, it was sweetly timed, and a great season to Jay Sherlock, and more to come for the power forward.
It's a crucial goal on the cusp of quarter time.
Huge.
We see Rogers scoring 100 in a test in Lords celebrate less than Sherlock did, putting up his 50 at the back of the pack. Sherlock's working it well in the centre of the ground. Wrigley from centre half back, loads up a long kick to centre forward. Flying at it is Huxtable for Glen Waverley Hawks. Drop mark allows KILSYTH to come in, but the tacklers are committed by Glen Waverley. Again, Huxtable takes the ball, puts a don't argue out in front of himself, and nearly takes the head off of the KILSYTH player in front of him. But the umpire says all fair in love and war, and we'll ball it up 45 metres out. At Pink's Reserve, Curry, unimpeded, just slaps it down to his right. Again, KILSYTH just trying to hand their way into open space. The tacklers come in. That's a ferocious tackle by McMillan. He almost put a saddle on as the player there getting up with it is Lee Thompson, going nowhere but to the ground. Hands it back to the umpire, 40 metres out. Curry again, gets good position, taps it down, but Glen Waverley are working to that tap. The handballs come out to Gould. Gould trying to share it, the kick's dangerous. Working Meechan off the halfback, hands it inboard, gets it well to Wisnowski. He hands it off to a teammate in Broad. And the handballs are just going nowhere, but that's pressure, trying to keep the ball in hand. Eventually, KILSYTH get it off Glen Waverley, but the tackle comes in again. Meechan does well, it's Broad, does well to wrap up KILSYTH.
Just ticked over the 30-minute mark in the quarter. Long first quarter gap.
Yep, thanks. So I was looking at the goals going, where are you pointing to, Brad? As there's no one in the forward 50 for Glen Waverley. They must know that we've ticked over 30 minutes. Siren's about to go any tick of the clock. But it's a ball up for KILSYTH, 70 metres from their goals. They look to extend on their 27-point lead. Can Glen Waverley get a fast break? Because they really have only had... We'll look at the inside 50s in a second because it's been a one-sided affair in that stat at least. Stoopy Campbell just interject any time because we've got a ball up, 70 metres from goal. Curry wins the tap again, works at the boundary line and is out. So what's the stats that matter?
What's now 18 to 8 inside 50s in favour of KILSYTH. That's 11 of the last 12.
So that's why it's 6 goals to 2.
Thanks to Chew's tap there, Grant Campbell. Just dying stages of this first quarter. Quick kick came out of the pack by McMillan towards the wing position. KILSYTH, they've been good in that situation, getting that quick release handball that just, to a player who's surging past, and on so many occasions it's resulted in a goal. But on this occasion, the free kick's been paid to the Hawks, and it's Josh McMillan. He's had plenty of the footy in the first term. Kicks it up towards the wing. Plenty of Cougars swarming back to win the footy.
Well, they're a chance
Well
here.
played there. Meechan got a handball out. This is a promising build-up. Mark was dropped for the Hawks. Really should have been held. They dive in over the footy, and that was Robbie Huxtable who dropped the mark on that occasion.
Do you think Brad Min should have from 40 just gone for goals because he's kicked enough goals this year to know where they're at?
Oh, look, I think it was a good pass, and it should have been marked.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, potentially Gavin should have gone the whole distance.
Boundary throw in, and the siren sounds to complete the first quarter. What was a pretty dominant first quarter by KILSYTH. 6-4-40 for them. The Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. In that quarter, Jay Sherlock kicked 3 for KILSYTH, and all the rest single goal kickers. So it is quarter time here at Pink's Reserve, a 27-point lead to KILSYTH. They've started off really well in this do-or-die game. We'll be back on the other side of this break with the second term on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent, you don't need to clear the cobwebs to find the information you need. It's all there for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play. Or find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Hey man, can you smell it? Smell what? It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
Yeah, like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor. A quarter to 3, Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. Currently 11 degrees in Melbourne's outer east. And we'll be back to our second quarter of our game. KILSYTH and Glen Waverley Hawks from Pink's Reserve in just a moment. But first, let's check some AFL games being played this afternoon. And firstly, down there at Cardinia Park in Geelong, the game between Geelong and Western Bulldogs at quarter to time. It was Geelong 3-4-22 leading the Western Bulldogs 2-2-14. It's currently the 25-minute mark of the second quarter, almost half-time, and it's Geelong 4-8-32 leading the Western Bulldogs 3-3-21. Goal kickers for the Cats so far, Caddy, Gregson and Hawkins have one each. Possessions, Caddy 18, Johnson 15 and Kelly 15. And for the Bulldogs, Dixon has kicked 2, 1 to Redpath. Possessions, Dowhouse 19, Picken 15 and Wallace 15. And the other game this afternoon is up at Carrara in the Gold Coast, between the Gold Coast Suns and the Greater Western Sydney at the end of the first quarter. And it's GWS 6-4-40 leading Gold Coast Suns 4-1-25. The goal kickers for GWS, Cameron, Downey and Lobb have one each. Possessions, Scully 9, Green 8 and Smith 8. And for Gold Coast, Gary Ablett has kicked 1 to Matera and also 1 to Miller. Possessions, Ablett up there again with 10, Mackenzie 7 and Calder Dashny with 6. And the other game this afternoon is at 4:35 p.m. and it's at Dockland Stadiums, and it's between Collingwood and the West Coast Eagles. And we'll keep you up to date with all AFL score right that afternoon right here on EFL Game Day.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too. Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor. For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to efl.org.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss the agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at efl.org.au. EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au. EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand. EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Pink's Reserve here in Kilsyth for what is a great game that is currently pretty one-sided at the moment. Kilsyth taking most of the play in that second half of the term to lead at 6-4-40 to 2-1-13 at a quarter time. With all the stats that matter, Grant Super Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
In the first quarter, Kilsyth had 20 hit-outs to 10. They won the clearances 13 to 8. They're on top in the contested possessions 44 to 36. Saw a few swings in the inside 50s. Kilsyth had the first 7, but Waverley had the next 7, and then Kilsyth had 11 of the last 13 to finish with 18 inside 50s to 9. Good tackling pressure from both sides. From Waverley with 21 effective tackles to 17, and they won the free kick count 11 to 3. Most of them deservedly from tackles. A couple of 50-51s going against them, so it'll be interesting to see if that evens up. And thanks to Will Taylor for the chocolate bar. Dyson said that we didn't give him enough credit, but thanks very much, Will.
There we go. Yes, credit where credit's due for Wilbur, who did the right thing for the team. Brilliant stuff from him. As both sides make their way to position, I might quickly run through some scores that we've got in Division 1. Baldwin lead by 47 points. East Ring were kept scoreless in the first term. South Croydon lead by 3 points over Blackburn. Roval by 21 points over Lilydale. In Division 2, Doncaster by 18 points over Wani South. Waverley Blues 8 points over Croydon. In Division 3, Heathmont lead by 9 points over the Basin. South Belgrave by 22 points over the goalless Mitcham. I hand back over to you, Brad Henderson and Gav Casey.
Thanks very much, Dyson. Second quarter is underway, and the first kick of the quarter came from Irvin. Irvin's kick out towards the wing, found Jackson, who beats the tackler. Or thought he did, but there's whistle on.
Didn't beat the boundary line, maybe?
No, didn't beat the... Okay, so he just crossed the boundary line then. He beat the tackler, but he traversed the boundary line. So throw in on that outer side. 27-point lead at this stage for KILSYTH. It's Rotano going up in the ruck for Glen Waverley this time. Ball spills to ground, and the umpire right on the scene there to call for a ball up. Realised it was going nowhere.
Thanks to the local burger co, Templestowe lead by 19 points over Chirnside Park, Ringwood by 12 points over Whitehorse, and Baronia by 27 points over Upper Ferntree Gully.
There's a little quick kick forward from Rickard, but it's been chopped off and marked in defence there for KILSYTH. Long kick up towards the wing. No mark held. Oh, actually the mark has been held. Sorry, that was a terrific grab there by Thompson. Just a little handball off to Ashby. I liked his game in the first quarter. James Ashby, Colts player, who's stepped up to senior footy and playing a great game today.
I've got a break in play. I might go through the Division 4 results that we have so far. Coldstream lead Eastern Lions by 8 points, and Forest Hill lead Surrey Park by 13.
So Curry going up against Rotano in the ruck. And the boundary throw-in. Ball spilled out to Herpich. Got it to Wrigley. Back to Herpich. Andrew Herpich, long kick. Front position there was owned by Sindon. Mullet there at the back. Strongly tackled. And it takes probably two or three players to get Ben Mullet to ground. And that's on that occasion what was achieved. So it resulted in a ball up. Close to the boundary line. Quick kick came out of the pack then from Sherlock. But there's a whistle for out on the full.
No, luckily enough, he was already out of bounds because he kicked it out in the full.
Yeah. So it will be a boundary throw-in. So Jay Sherlock, as you say, Gav, he was hard up against the boundary line. In fact, he was over the line when he kicked that ball. I think he just thought he'll have a ping at the goals no matter what. Probably glad that one was called back for a boundary throw-in. Rotano palmed it down into Huxtable, but again, there's a whistle for a free kick. And that was in the ruck contest, some holding on there.
It was just a push forward by Curry.
Yeah, he's a big body, Curry, and he's...
yeah, makes you wonder how he got pushed so dramatically forward.
Well, it's not so much. I think the direct opponent just senses the size of Curry, and so probably impedes him illegally. That's why he's getting some free kicks.
Looks like he's got a nice kicking action we saw earlier. This one just falls a couple of metres short. The left footer there, Sean Curry, he's kicked his second behind. But yeah, he's got quite a nice sort of fluent kicking action. Good follow through. Just couldn't quite get the distance on that occasion.
Thankfully enough for Glen Waverley, who trail by 28 points in this must-win game. They won't make up the points if they lose this game. So they haven't started well here at Pinks Reserve. Wrigley's in good position for the long kick out of defence to take the mark on the Pavilion wing. His hand pass over to teammate Noonan. A bit of hot under pressure. Palms off, then gets his kick to centre half forward. And an easy mark taken by Ben Mullet. So Mullet from 50 metres out and beyond will just put it as long as he can. He's got a lead. Sherlock gets 2 metres on his opponent and takes a mark out in front with his arms stretched out. And the defender had no chance. But when you give him some metres, Sherlock has certainly got the skill level and the body size to get the job done. So from 40 metres out, about a 30-degree angle. So he should really put it towards goal and put number 7 on the board. He does put it just sneaking inside the right post, and it's a goal. KILSYTH get goal number 7, and it's 4 for Sherlock today. 7-5-47, extend the lead out to 34 points. And Glen Waverley HAWKS on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard are only 2-1. 13, 4.5 minutes gone, second term.
Boundary side.
That's our boundary side, thanks to LifeCare.
Just that first quarter break, Glen Waverley coach Ryan Flack really wanted his players to be first of the contest, so he'll be quite disappointed seeing them being second to all of these contests just to start this second quarter.
So back in the middle, Curry against Rotano. It's palmed down this time into the path of Irvine. Irvine's kick up towards half forward. Good ship provided then by Eastman, just allowed Huxtable to run away with the footy. Huxtable's kick hugging the boundary, and in fact he's put it out on the full. So free kick goes to Jackson. Matt Jackson, captain of the KILSYTH team, kept the kick pretty low, was intended for Sherlock, but there were plenty of Hawks back there, and Mitchell Potts was content just to rush that one through for a minor score. So KILSYTH 7-6-48, leading the Glen Waverley Hawks 2-1-13. It's a 35-point lead now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at 5.5 minutes into the second quarter.
So kicking to him, playing on his Gould, or Potts should I say, just kicks it long, and nice mark taken by Steinford. So Steinford at centre half back, just kicking it sideways to a teammate, and Glen Waverley look to load up from half back. Now the run comes through the middle of the ground, a long inside 50, just dropping short on the leading kick. Mark not taken by KILSYTH in defence. They've got the numbers. Wrigley's one of them, who hands it forward to Van Gorlick, who drops the ball. Does get there to try to hand pass back to Wrigley, but it's been now in the hands of Broad. Broad shares it out wide, left side through Meechan. His kick is a bit of a wobbler, but nearly marked, just dropped as going to ground. So Glen Waverley don't get the shot at goal yet. So they'll have to come in and shut up shop 55 metres from goal. And just a bit of messy play there as both sides try to get it going. It's a 35-point lead for KILSYTH. Punch one down into the corridor. Wrigley takes it, stops dead. It actually means the tacklers run past him. Now the hands work as Jackson off half back tries to get it going. It's a turnover though on the wing. It's in Potts' hands. He gets maybe taken high, but the umpire's already blowing his whistle, and it is a free kick to KILSYTH just where the ball was.
Switch on.
And a big opportunity to go into the centre of the ground, but it will be chopped off. McAvoy was in good position. McCoy, should I say, was in good position to chop it off for Glen Waverley. Now goes outer side. It's in the possession of Broad. Had to take it with some courage. Quickly handballs it on. Now Glen Waverley got a chance to load up. They go inside the 50 with a min. Picking up the ball, running inside the corridor just to get some space. His kick finds Sinden eventually on the bounce. Left foot under pressure. Seals it towards the goals. Bounce of the ball eludes everyone. And it eludes the goals as it bounces to the left side for a minor score. And Glen Waverley Hawks were actually on the spot there if it kept in. But thankfully for KILSYTH, it's only 1 point, 2-3-15. Still a 33-point lead as KILSYTH is 7-6-48. That is the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It is indeed. As it comes to half back, and a great mark taken by Ben Mullett. Doesn't waste any time, kicks it up towards the wing. Beautifully rode then by Ashby. Lovely kick as well by Ashby. Gave Cartwright a chance.
Look at that.
Nicely done by Sherlock. Spins through the traffic. Now throws the ball on the boot. Broad will hunt it down for the Hawks, although no, it was taken away by Jackson. Good intensity shown then by Matt Jackson, but his handball was intercepted by Rickard. Over the top to Huxtable, who fumbled, and Huxtable's kick found the boundary line for a throw-in.
Do we have an award for best fend-off? Because Sherlock's in the position now.
Sherlock's done pretty well. Must say, Glen Waverley just playing reactive football. They've just got to take the game on a little bit. They've just got to, as I said, be proactive, I suppose, in their approach to the ball and start just getting some quality players, pieces of play together.
Broad on this occasion, well wrapped up then by Ashby. Another ball up.
Just a quick quarter-time score thanks to the local burger company in Division 2. Scores before 7:31, leading Doncaster East 4-2-26. So I think Will Taylor's getting rewarded for his kindness.
Will Taylor at it again.
Super tipster.
Umpire lets them play for a long time this time, and some of the players then thought the whistle was going to blow any second, but they were forced to keep playing. Now the umpire charges in and throws it up. Scrambly around the footy. This is Broad again. Best and fairest winner last year for the Hawks is playing another fine game today, Luke Broad. Steinford's handball was a good one.
Good vision.
This is a promising build-up from the Hawks. Jack Dunn takes the mark in some open space. Wheels around, kicks it to the forward pocket. Chance there for Meechan. Throws it on the boot. And he's got the lucky bounce, Kurt Meechan. He has got the third goal on the board for the Glen Waverley Hawks. They trail now by 28 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Kurt Meechan kicking his first of the day.
Well, to say they needed that, Andy, would be the understatement of the century. A bit of good fortune goes a long way.
Well, conversely, he had, you know, he got the bad bounce before, but it would have had a soda, and then on this occasion he gets the good bounce. So you make your own luck in this game, and Meechan certainly did that.
That could be the fire starter.
Could be.
centre clearance is 9-1 for the match in favour of KILSYTH, so Glen Waverley really need to improve that aspect of their game.
Well, here's a big opportunity to get it going their way, but Curry has been tall enough and strong enough to win the tap once again, but ground level, Glen Waverley burning the road to him. Here goes the clearance through Gould. Gould gets his kick up centre forward, where the over-the-shoulder goes through Mmmm. He's on the mark of 50. That is the man on the mark. So the short pass will come into the leading option in Meechan. He lets it go underneath himself, just pushes it in front. Now has been tackled and wrapped up by the KILSYTH defence. And it might actually be, I'm thinking that's done because Meechan's in the goal square. Yep, that was done on the lead, just on the bounce of the ball. Couldn't get a big opportunity. Curry wins the tap. This time he goes boundary side to one of his teammates. So from defence, KILSYTH are able to share their way out, but their dumping kick towards the wing might not work out to them because the defence is Steinford. He doesn't win the ball. It's actually Sherlock getting there first, handing it to Mullet. Mullet hands it over to his teammate in Herpich, who goes into the side of the corridor. The bounce of the ball is important, and well done there by Goodinson. He shares it to a teammate, and an overlap occurs. Running onto the ball, will keep going is Benson. Did he keep going? He will now, as he hands it over to Mullet, and Mullet from 40 metres out seals the goal. And I'll just check that. It was Benson who kept the ball, and Benson gets his first goal on the board. He's kicked 14 before today, and it is now 8-6-54, a 34-point lead. Glen Waverley Hawks are 3-20.
Well, that was a good reply there from the Cougars. Just as soon as they're challenged, they meet it with great effectiveness. Too much space in their forward line, Andy.
Yeah, as I said a couple of times, that they just look all at sea, Glen Waverley, in their defence, and
they're drowning.
Yeah, they are, and it's getting a little bit. It's dire straits for them now. They've really got to improve.
34-point lead then, back out to a 34-point lead for KILSYTH as Irvine takes it from the middle, thumps it forward, long kick for Sherlock. Spills out to Benson. Sherlock got the handball from Benson, tries to beat the tacklers again. Wasn't totally able to do so. Socket away there by Burton. There's a whistle on. Free kick will go to Reece Burton, who had a bit of a fumbly first quarter. Short pass to Broad, probably been his team's best player so far today. Luke Broad's kick to the wing position. MacArthur did well in the front position then and fisted it to the boundary line for a throw-in. So, boundary throw-in right in front of our broadcast position. 34-point lead to KILSYTH here at Pinks Reserve. Back into play. Handball shot out by Broad. Got it to Rotunno. Rotunno's kick, looking for Meechan. And there was some holding on done. In fact, it was in the contest, and the free kick will come back. So it was against Damian, was it, for some holding on.
And I think he's given some verbal as well afterwards. 25-metre penalty.
Had a bit of a frustrating day, Adam Mmmm. Dropped a couple of marks and hasn't been able to he's kicked one goal so far. Just the one. This is Noonan for KILSYTH. Kicks to half forward. King was the target. Spills over the back to Jackson. Jackson has time to steady, and it was a lovely pass. Good vision, and then great execution of the kick on his non-dominant side. And he found Ben Mullet, who strongly took the mark as he's done all day. And Ben Mullet will go back and line up for his second goal of the day.
Damian, once again, just too much space in the Glen Waverley defence.
Exactly right, just a plethora of options.
He's a quality player. You'd expect him to kick the goal from here. That's exactly what he's done. Ben Mullet has his second. KILSYTH have their 9th goal on the board. That's their third of this quarter, and they are 9 goals, 660, leading Glen Waverley Hawks 3-20 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, I'm not prepared to call Fat Lady yet, but it's certainly meeting that requirement at the moment because KILSYTH are just dominating. Too much space in their forward line. Once they make the counter-attack forward, Glen Waverley just cannot keep up and be accountable.
I just get worried that the average score is 67 as a total score. Glen Waverley, KILSYTH are already at 60.
Rucks go at it. Curry holds his ground, wins it as the ball comes down on the ball up. He kicks it forward to centre forward where a pack of players go at it and will be held up. KILSYTH going towards inside 50 again. And Glen Waverley have had an ability to get numbers back, but as special commentators have said, their accountability deep in defence has not always been their best. And again, the ball up will come in as wrapped up in the tackle with Sindon. Hands it over to the umpire, 50 metres away from Kilsyth's goal. They've already got a big lead of 40 points. Broad roves the ball, kicks it into the middle, hoping for his teammate. But it's Wrigley who might help out. The hand passes astray, goes in the hands of Dunn. Dunn gets a chance just to assess the options from the centre. Goes towards another Dunn in Jesse. He can't take the mark. Punch comes in, ground level. It's Noonan for Kilsyth. Doesn't hand pass off, dodges, gets the kick long and finds his teammate in King. So King on the pavilion wing, looks inboard. Got a pass to Curry. Curry takes it on the chest, hands it off to Benson. Benson dodges one. Left side, kicks it towards Sherlock, takes the mark in front. Good grab. Now Sherlock, another pass inside 50. Leads good, 2 metres gap. Holds that with the pass straight into the chest of the leading forward. And it's Mullet kicking for goal number 3 personally. And goal number 10 as we tick over 16 minutes into the second term. And we've seen Mullet actually do the same kick only moments before for a goal. So the bets will all go on Mullet.
A little bit further out this time, but I'd still back him in to kick it, Gav.
So Mullet looking for his third and goal number 14 for the season. And the goal umpire decides he doesn't have to move until signal time. It's 10-6-66, a 46-point lead in this huge game for season 2015. Glen Waverley Hawks are only 3-20.
You know, they didn't do a lot wrong, Damo, in that, Glen Waverley didn't do a lot wrong in that build-up or passage of play that Kilsyth had, but it was just so well shared by MacArthur. You had Curry involved, Sherlock involved, and then finally with Mullet. The foot skills are quite sublime by Kilsyth. For a Division 4 team, they're just really hitting their targets. It's great ball use.
Back in the middle once again. Curry there against Fitzpatrick. It's palmed down nicely out of the middle. The kick then from Van Gulik, and that was champagne footy again from Kilsyth.
The clearances are killing them, Brett.
Yeah, they're not getting first use.
Hit-outs 12-4 this quarter. Clearances 9-5 the way of Kilsyth.
So Ben Mullet, he's kicked 3 goals today. He wants to pass it off, and there's a bit of loose checking there. So the mark's been held by Wrigley for Kilsyth. That was very poor from the Glen Waverley Hawks defence.
But to be fair, he's a centre-half back who's decided, I'll go for glory here.
It's confidence.
It's drifted forward. So Caleb Wrigley, been good, looking to share in the party, in the spoils. Kick falls short, but the mark's been held in the square by Sherlock. The kick fell well short, but Jay Sherlock knew where it was going. And he had front position. He's kicked 4 today. This is for goal number 5. So 5 goals before half-time for Jay Sherlock. Makes no mistake, and it is a domination at the moment here at Pinks Reserve. Kilsyth 11-6-72. Glen Waverley Hawks 3-20 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 5 goals for Jay Sherlock.
I've got to say, guys, might be a bit of a bad joke, but Damo, that Sherlock goal was elementary, my dear Watson.
Oh dear.
Just as cunning as Sherlock Holmes too behind the pack there, but fantastic, Andy. Once again, just too dominant up forward and too much space. It was virtually uncontested again.
Yeah, he's just a big body, and he just finds the right positions. He reads the ball really well in the air, but they just can't match him in size, and he's just too powerful.
Talking of size, Curry decides not to leap, but still better judgment, knocks it forward. And Kilsyth know that, disperse forward. Van Gulik's got it. He'll spear another pass in, and here he is, Jay Sherlock, 5 goals, looking for 6. And it's just no hands are getting near the ball when he puts his arms out in front. And the defence must be wondering, what do we have to do? Well, get closer would be one thing, but it's hard work at the moment.
They're not getting a lot of protection, though, the Glen Waverley defence. I mean, they just ran the ball out of the middle there way too easily, Kilsyth.
The kick has pulled a bit and never comes back to the centre, and it's a minus score. 11-7-73, 53-point lead for Kilsyth. Glen Waverley Hawks 3-2-20. Let's get some Campbells for Yarra Valley Water Choose Tap.
The centre clearance is 6-1 this quarter. It was 7-1 the first quarter, so that's 13-2 for the game. And Jay Sherlock now up to 11 kicks and 7 marks for the match, along with his 5 goals.
So Gavin Cruz brings the ball back in for the Hawks. Thumping kick right to almost the middle of the ground. Handball was shot out by Huxtable to Broad. Broad just trying to inspire his team in his second quarter, but he's not getting a lot of help. Handballed it back to Huxtable. Off to McCoy. McCoy through some heavy traffic, kicks it forward to the pocket. It was Rickard who was the target, and he got one over the shoulder, so the free kick paid then to Joe Rickard.
Played footy with Joe Rickard down at Mount Waverley. He's a really good running wingman. He's usually got pretty good skills. Let's just see if he can finish it off.
Better ball movement from the Hawks there, coast to coast, nice
That's
transition.
They're a running side, and they need their hands. They need their hands on the ball.
Well, they desperately need this goal. Joe Rickard, quite an awkward
James Manson
kicking style, falls short.
It's a mark.
Is there a mark in the square? Wasn't paid. 5-set play on. KILSYTH will dodge the bullet and clear out of defence. And that was well played by the Cougars. The mark safely taken, though, by Potts for the Hawks.
That's why sharing's not always caring. Glenwavy had 2 hands on that.
4.
Mitchell Potts' kick to a big pack. Lancaster got the fist. Ball spills to ground. They'll charge out of defence once again. This is Wrigley. Caleb Wrigley had his handball smothered.
Look at that.
Good pressure, wasn't it? Van Gulik has a bit of time to steady. Kick was dangerous, but it found
too easy.
Lee Thompson, the coach, spins out of the tackle, tumbles the ball forward. Sherlock paddles it out in front of himself, and finally the boundary line comes into play. But, gee, I tell you what, KILSYTH, you can see, Andy, can't you, why they've won 8 games in a row. And some of the footy they've played today, it's not the sort of footy we're used to seeing so much of at Division 4 level. It's been, as you said, quite sublime.
Yeah, no, they have been absolutely superb in every aspect of the game, and it's no secret to see they're chock full of confidence. You know, most likely they're going to win 9 in a row, and you know, look, there's probably no better team in Division 4 football at the moment.
On this evidence, no, and they share it again. Van Gulik gets it to Sherlock. He's at the back of the centre, goes into the corridor. Now they're sharing it well.
Too easy.
Beautifully played out half forward. Another spearing pass finds Benson all on his own. He got to the contest of the boundary throw-in, just moved forward, knowing his teammates would work it inside 50, and eventually it got to him. And Johns was one of those guys in the middle, open up the game. So Benson, who's got 1 goal, a beautiful running effort where he took the mark on the gallop and decided to keep going. And if he puts this one through the middle at the 22-minute mark, it will stretch it out to a 12-goal. But it's only 11 goals, 8, 74. It's a 54-point lead over Glen Waverley Hawks. And we're almost going to say, guys, is it too far back for Glen Waverley?
Yeah, on this evidence, absolutely. But look, that play just then, that was virtually training. You know, they
4
had
contested, uncontested possessions.
They had the switch. They ran. They spread really well, and you know, they had a shot on goal, uncontested, as you said.
So Cruz brings the ball back into half-back. There's a high tackle against against Benson, and the free kick goes to the Hawks.
No option.
Much to kick to, certainly. Just surveying the options was Rickard. The kick to the wing, almost marked by Jackson. Probably should have been paid. Van Gulik in support. Dunn takes possession. He's all wrapped up. Had nowhere to go. Thompson here was strongly tackled by Gould. And it will be a ball up on the wing position. Just got to win those mini contests. Win lots of the little contests here, the Hawks, and they can start to work their way back into the game. Probably maybe ignore the scoreboard for the moment.
But Brad, I reckon they're getting in good positions. It's the body strength of the KILSYTH players around the contest that's been most impressive. Look at Lee Thompson break tackles before.
And they can't afford to give him any space at all either, because their foot skills have been so good today that when the KILSYTH have got out in space, they're able to hit their targets 9 times out of 10. So that's a couple of things to work on. I'm sure they'll get that message at half-time. It was Dunn who had his handball blocked. Ashby strongly tackled and taken to ground there by Sinden. So it'll be a ball up once again, right in front of our broadcast position. Plenty of play on this broadcast side, which we appreciate as always. This is Steinfort, was well wrapped up then by Cartwright. Cartwright takes possession again, tackled by McMillan. And he'll get a free kick here, Dean Cartwright. Gee, that's a cold wind that comes through that door. Very nice and warm up here, but I'll tell you what, it is cold outside, that is for sure, even though the ground's bathed in glorious sunshine. Quick kick by Irvine, out of the pack. and Irvine's kick only just managed to sneak through for a minor score. So KILSYTH 11-9-75, leading the Hawks 3-20. 25 minutes gone in the second quarter here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Glen Waverley hoping for their own clean passage of play. Kick it out to the left side. That's a good pass. Drop mark there by Meechan. And Meechan just sees it out of bounds. And just when they do have a chance, they're dropping balls uncontested.
Yeah, a bit like the English cricket team sometimes. But
Oh,
yeah,
I only hope so.
absolutely. Just lack of skill level. It hasn't been up to standard in the second term for the Hawks.
What number's Tufnell on this lineup? So the ball's in the middle. Glen Waverley are able to win stoppages, but it's outside of that Benson works it around to a teammate. They're going to run. Here's a big shot to the full back. Big, long kick goes down the line. 2-on-1. Glen Waverley Hawks have the 2, but a ground level tackle comes in. Beautiful effort there by, was it Curry, getting the tackle down. Now the flying shot from 40 metres out misses to the left, coming over the top Newman to try to take the mark. And was that Ashby that did the long run?
Ashby who kicked it to the square, and it was Peter Lancaster, the fullback there for KILSYTH, who did the big charging run through the middle.
It's just a Madden-like, wasn't it?
Shades of 93 against Adelaide.
Yeah.
Sinden takes the mark just inside the field of play. Short pass is on.
Jeez.
Dangerous kick. Didn't really do Gould any favours, but he got it back to Sinden. Sinden's kick a poor one again, and this time it's been marked by Jackson. So Matt Jackson, captain of the Cougars, comes in board with the kick, and Min chases it down. Handball to Sinden. Sinden's handball was really indiscriminate, but it got it to Eastman. Dunn takes the mark. Jack Dunn through the middle. He's had a good second quarter. Dishes off the handball to a teammate. The spearing kick to full forward. Bit of interference there by Richards on Meechan. And Kurt Meechan will go back and line up for his second goal of the day.
That was better transition for the Hawks there, Andy. They didn't succumb to the pressure. They remained composed and managed to quickly, but gradually at the same time into their ball movement, work it forward with clean possession this time.
Yeah, for the most part they did. They kept the ball in their favour. It was a little bit of overuse at times, but they kept their hands on the ball, and a good decision there by the umpire. I think Meechan would have marked that if it wasn't for the arm chop.
Got to kick this, no doubt about that. They need a goal here, the Hawks. Get a bit of confidence up as well. He's quite a awkward kicking style as well, and I think he's missed as well. Out to the right, so a minor score there for Kurt Meechan. 1 goal, 1 for him today, and the Glen Waverley Hawks move on to 3 goals, 3-21. They trail a dominant and very, very impressive KILSYTH side who are 11-10-76. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at halftime, the margin is some 51 points. KILSYTH 11-10-76. The Glen Waverley Hawks 3-3-21. And it is halftime out here at Pinks Reserve. And we'll be back on the other side of this break with plenty of scores across the Eastern Football League. There are full round of matches, of course, across the Eastern region. On the other side of this break on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
In footy, the best players always get tagged. In Melbourne, the best and cheapest way to get around the tollways is to get your car tagged. That's because a Breeze account works on Eastlink and it works on CityLink too. A tag's also the cheapest way to use Eastlink and CityLink. So open your Breeze account online at eastlink.com.au and start winning as a tagger today. Speaking of winning, my team's a sure thing for 4 points today and maybe the premiership. Come on up, that was in the back. Eastlink, it's time better spent, like at the footy. Program sponsor.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1 at 20 after 3. Barry Cott's back here in the studio, and we're back for the halftime Pie Shed Show in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at some AFL action this afternoon. And firstly, up there in the Gold Coast, the Carrara Oval. It's between the Gold Coast Suns and Greater Western Sydney at half-time. And it's GWS 7-9-51 leading Gold Coast 7-4-46. So a 5-point lead to Greater Western Sydney at half-time. Goal kickers for GWS, Cameron, Downey and Lobb have one each. Their best possession getters, Smith 15, Caniglio 13 and Green 12. Goal kickers for Gold Coast, Ablett, Mateer and Miller all have two each. Ablett 16 possessions, Kovajashny 13 and Miller 13. And the other game this afternoon being played down at Inia Park between Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. At half-time it was Geelong 4-8-32 leading the Western Bulldogs 3-4-22, so a 10-point lead to Geelong. It's currently the 13-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's Geelong 6-8-44 leading the Western Bulldogs for 6-30, so a 14-point lead to Geelong halfway through the third quarter. Goal kickers for the Cats, Hawkins has 2, one each to Caddy and Duncan. Possessions, Caddy 24, Johnson
21 visitors. 3-3, 21 visitors.
Passes 25 over 17 over Gray 17. Now the other game this afternoon is the twilight game, and that's between Collingwood and the West Coast Eagles at Dockland Stadium, and that will get underway at 4:35 p.m. this afternoon. We'll have more AFL action, but don't go away because coming up after this next break, we'll have halftime Pie Shed Show.
Hey man, it's crunch time. Is it? Footy speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch. Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream. Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G, and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour. So this is footy speak. Yeah, I'm just saying man, the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy. Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Oh, Barry. He was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through the speakers. So at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue. And looking forward, looking back, filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL Media Team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders, following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning, 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around the ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand. Love it local and keep the radio dial locked on 98.1 Radio Eastern. EFL Gameday kicks off at 1 every Saturday as the EFL Media Team bring you all the EFL Gameday action, thanks to the Pancake Parlour. On Sunday, tune in from 10 for Crocs Play Centre's EFL Sunday for a complete review of all the senior EFL matches. Wednesday night from 6, tune in to the Huddle with Paul Semercedes, Aaron Kirkby-Rodia and Will Taylor for a lighter look at the EFL. Love it local this season? 98.1 Radio Eastern. For comprehensive EFL video coverage, head to efl.org.au and check out our EFL TV portal. Don't miss The Agenda every week for all the latest news from right around the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Play of the Week. EFL TV, love it local 24/7 at efl.au. EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll.
Scores do you lead by 9 points?
Videos, basketball. any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to efl.org.au.
Yeah.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to EFL Game Day, all thanks to the Pancake Parlour. And just looking through at these scores coming through, there's some major boil-overs coming, in particular the game happening out at Scoresby Recreation Reserve, where it is currently a 9-point lead in favour of Scoresby over Doncaster East. Ben Warren Smith texting me from Sydney and not too happy about it at all. But before we get on to before we get on to Alicia Loxley from Channel 9, we might quickly head up to Grant Campbell with all the Tuesday match stats.
In that second quarter, KILSYTH dominated. The hit-outs 18-5, the clearances 13-6. Out of the centre, it was 6-1 that quarter, and now 13-3 for the match. The inside 50s went KILSYTH way, 15-9. And the marks inside 50, 8-0 for the second quarter and 14-4 for the match in favour of KILSYTH. Normally teams get about 14 marks inside 50 for the match and they'd be pretty happy with it. So KILSYTH absolutely dominating every stats area.
Yes, it's going to be one of those days. We speak about the wet weather having a major impact, but I think a few sides playing dry weather football right across the eastern suburbs playing havoc with a couple of clubs right around the league. But speaking of right around the league, more so right around the world, let's head to the Channel 9 newsroom. And not Clint Stunaway this afternoon. He's off on soccer duties. We've got Alicia Loxley. And a very good afternoon to you, and welcome to the Eastern Football League once again, Alicia. No, I haven't quite got Alicia on the line as yet. I think she might have just dropped off. We might run through a couple of the scores we've got. As I mentioned, it's a 9-point lead to Scoresby over Doncaster East, a 20-point lead to Doncaster over Wantirna South. 9-8 plays 6-6, and a 4-point lead to Croydon over the Waverley Blues after the Waverley Blues led by 8 points. We'll try again. Are you there, Alicia?
I am.
We got you. Very good afternoon to you, and tell us a little bit about what's happening right around Australia and around the world that we might be able to see at 6 o'clock on 9 News.
Yeah, good afternoon to you and your listeners as well. Look, a local story, with there being chaotic scenes in the CBD, that's going to be leading our bulletin. Extraordinary scenes, really. Violence has erupted at a race rally that's happening outside of Parliament. Anti-racism groups and also anti-Islam protesters have clashed, and police were forced to use pepper spray. And the Mounted Brigade was also deployed as the aggressive protesters tried to breach police lines. So we'll have more on that for you tonight at 6, leading our bulletin. Bernard Tomic has said that he has no plans to make peace with Tennis Australia after he was arrested at his Miami hotel. There are claims that Tony Abbott is shortchanging Victoria, that he's given up on Victoria in the federal election by $1 billion a year. Also, a suspicious package has been found dumped near the home of cricketer Brad Haddon, so Sydney police are investigating that. We've seen charges laid over a shocking road rage incident that left a man fighting for life on the Western Ring Road, and also motorists over in California forced to run for their lives as wildfires have caused freeway havoc over there.
Unreal. It's one of those days around the world. Thank you very much for that update. We look forward to seeing you at 6 o'clock, Alicia.
Thanks very much. See you later.
Thanks to Alicia Loxley from the Channel 9 newsroom. Not the best update we've had in terms of the news that's come through, but nonetheless, you'll be able to see all that and much, much more from 6 o'clock on Channel 9 News. As I mentioned, scores in Division 2, Scoresby by 9 points, Donny East by 20 points, and Croydon by 4 points. In Division 1, Baldwin 13-8-86 lead East Ringwood 1 straight 6, an 80-point lead in favour of the Tigers at home. Division 3, it's a 4-point lead to Heathmont over the Basin, a 4-point lead to Mitcham over South Belgrave after the Saints led by 22 points at quarter time. A 4-goal lead to Templestowe over Chainside Park. Ringwood lead by 2 goals over Whitehorse, and Boronia were kept scoreless in that quarter and now only lead by 2 points over Upper Fantry Gully. In Division 4, Coldstream lead by 2 straight kicks over Eastern Lions. Forest Hill by 22 points over Surrey Park, and Nunawading by 21 points over Ferntree Gully. Will and Andy Paolacci have joined me on the Pie Shed halftime show. We got there eventually, but it's been one of those games. I mean, you look at the dominance in the first 5 minutes of KILSYTH, and then you know, the next 10 minutes of that first term was all Glen Waverley Hawks, but since then it's pretty much been one-way traffic, and there seems to be a real size, height, weight difference between these two sides.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there, Dice. I just think, as I mentioned before in the pre-game, that it will be won in the midfield and the forwards, and that's exactly what KILSYTH's done. They've won the midfield battles, won the clearances, won the inside forward 50s, but also the fact that I think they've really caught Glen Waverley unguarded, really, because from the get-go, they kicked the first 3 goals, and I just thought from that on, I just thought Glen Waverley were going to be hard to get their way back to it. They did come back in that first term, late in that quarter, Andy, but I just think KILSYTH are really taking control now, and they've kicked the last 8 goals of this game, and Glen Waverley's got to find ways now to get goals and trying to stop KILSYTH's bleeding inside forward 50.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it just comes down to KILSYTH getting first use of the ball. They're absolutely smashing it in the clearances. They've got bigger bodies. They're more experienced. They're more match hardened, and it's translating on the scoreboard. You know, with a 55-point belting up to half time. We mentioned, well, Grant Super Campbell mentioned that their average scores throughout a match for Glen Waverley is 67. KILSYTH are already on 76. So, you know, it doesn't bode well for the Hawks, unfortunately. But look, what Glen Waverley need to do to at least get themselves back into the game, as I mentioned, get that first use and get their running game going. Once they run, once they share, they look pretty good. And there's a reason why there's 7 wins, 5 losses and a draw. They're not a bad footballing side. But unfortunately, they've come across a steam train today in the form of KILSYTH. The Cougars are ferocious, and they just look like one of the best in the division.
And they're just about to run it, and you can hear them in their effects, Mike. A few Hawks supporters trying to get behind them. Gav Casey mentioned off air that there's just something about the Hawks that seems like they're not done with yet, even though they are down by 55 points. Do you buy into that theory, or is it just a case that they possibly could outscore them in the second half?
Oh, look, if they outscore them in the second half, I think it's because KILSYTH were relaxed. Not that I discount Glen Waverley as a side. I just think they've just come across a bigger, hungrier, it's more a professional side.
It's the kind of football I didn't expect when we came in here. It's fast-flowing, it's attacking, it's skillful. Forwards have dominated. Like Mullet and Sherlock have hardly been touched all afternoon.
Yeah, and you mentioned the word skillful. In terms of a Division 4 side and their skill by foot, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, they would not look out of place in Division 3, and well, I'm not going to go the big tip yet, but geez, they are looking irrepressible at the moment.
And just one point we mentioned in on pre-game was, how is Glen Waverley going to kick goals other than those 2 big forwards? Well, they haven't really, because for the fact that there's a couple of times winning inside forward 50, KILSYTH identified those 2 players that it's going to hurt them on the scoreboard. They've done that, and the other players got to really step up to the plate now in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, onwards from that, I find that Glen Waverley, they can build the ball up not too badly to the centre line, but they're really breaking down at half forward, and KILSYTH are countering with not a lot of pressure. They run, they spread, they hit their targets, and most importantly, they're getting enough shots on goal. I mean, 11-10, that's 21 scoring shots for the half. That's massive.
Phenomenal. We're not going to take a break because both sides are just about to break from their huddles and get ready to go through. So I might let you boys take your positions for the second half. I'll go through some of the scores that we've got thanks to the local Burger Co. On the Pie Shed halftime show, remember to go see Mark at the team down at 295 Canterbury Road in Bayswater. No better place to get a pie during the afternoon. Division 1, Baldwin 13-8-86, lead East Ringwood 1 straight 6 by 80 points. Blackburn 8-6-48, lead by 21 points over South Croydon 3-9-27. Roval 9-5-59, 34-point leaders over Lilydale 4-1-25. In Division 2, as I mentioned, Scoresby potentially causing the upset of the afternoon, 7-13-55, 9-point leaders over Doncaster East 7-4-46. Doncaster 9-8-62, 20-point leaders over Wanturna South. Croydon 7-2-44 have now extended their lead out to 11 points midway through the first term. Wayne Brush is out at that one. Heathmont in Division 3 lead by 4 points over the Basin. South Belgrave trail by 4 points after leading by 22 at quarter time to Mitcham. Templestowe by 4 straight kicks over Chanside Park. Ringwood by 13 points over Whitehorse. Boronia by 2 points over Upper Gully. And in Division 4, Coldstream by 12 points over the Eastern Lions. Forest Hill by 22 over Surrey Park. Nunawading by 21 over Ferntree Gully. And no score from Warrandyte and Donvale, which makes me a very unhappy man. Back to you, boys.
Thanks very much, Dyson. And it is the start of the third quarter here at Pink's Reserve. Play underway in the third term. And it's a big mountain to climb, you would think, for the Glen Waverley Hawks. They're 55 points down at half-time as Sindon gets the free kick for the Hawks, drives it forward. Ball carried over the head of Mmmm. Out of defence, that was well played by the Cougars up towards half-forward. Who can attack this footy first? There's another whistle for a high tackle. There is a player down on the ground there, hurt for the Hawks in a spot of bother. And that was Potts, Mitchell Potts, who got back to his feet, dished it off the handball to Gould, who got it to Cruz, and now it's with Cruz. Cruz's kick. Rickard was involved in that passage as well. Ball at half-back now for the Hawks. This is Luke Broad, best and fairest winner last year for the Glen Waverley Hawks. Nice kick, and he's found Rotano. Little handball from Rotano was effective. A bit of run and carry here from the Hawks is promising. Richards there, got the handball out to Mullet. Mullet went back with the handball. Ashby now really hugs the boundary with the kick, and it was pretty ambitious there from James Ashby. Jackson, the target of the ball, went over the boundary line on the full. So free kick will go to Sindon, although there's a bit of debate, which I'm sure you can hear in the effects microphone.
Bit of choice advice given by the crowd.
But it seemed pretty clear then. So free kick to the Hawks. Paul Sindon. High kick. Broad had to come from about 3 deep to attack the footy. Handball was shot out by Dunn. Intercepted though. A lot of players around this footy, including Thompson, and it will be a ball up. So we've gone 2 minutes in the third quarter. No score, no addition to the score for either side so far. And once again, it will be a ball up. It's sort of a true centre-half forward position for the Glen Waverley Hawks.
So it's in our forward, but Tano again punches it forward from the ruck contest, 5 metres, but it's Wrigley roving inside his own defensive
Lovely
50.
kick.
A high up and under goes directly to his teammate in Irvine at half back. So he tries to dodge the man on the mark, does get around Sindon. He's got some trouble though. MacArthur has to hand it back to a teammate, and they're playing around with it, KILSYTH, but keeping it in hand. And it goes long down to Mullet. Mullet got underneath it. So running back with the flight of the ball is Steinford. Gets onto it. Hands it on to Gould. Gould into his defensive 50 now. Takes a bounce. We haven't seen one of those today.
Oh.
And he's kicked the short pass. Is out of bounds. So even the ones that are only meant to go 10 metres can't find the target. And Cruz curses that it beats him out of bounds. So it's 60 metres around from KILSYTH's goal. They lead by 55. And just as I was probably going to potentially say that Glen Waverley are playing a little bit better, they still can't hit the next target in the chain. So at ground level, Rover gets it over to Mullet. Mullet tries to drive it to the goals, but on the bounce it gets to a teammate who sharks it beautifully, and on the turn, another goal, and I think it's Newman. Herpich, sorry, from directly 10 metres out. On the bounce, it was a wobbler, and he turns on his right boot, gets goal number 12 on the board, 12-10, 82, a 61-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Special comments now.
Well, the Glen Waverley Hawks defence there perhaps gave the KILSYTH forwards a little bit of latitude on that occasion. They had the opportunity at the boundary throw-in to at least crowd the KILSYTH forward line, but they didn't take the opportunity to do so, and I thought that was pretty costly.
Yeah, very costly. It's strange because they're not a bad defence, Glen Waverley, but they just haven't had that team cohesion in the back half, and it's really spelling in a lot of scores conceded.
Oh, it's out to 61 points now, the margin. So it's getting ugly, you have to say, for the Hawks.
Yeah, almost quadruple the scoreline.
Free kick to KILSYTH. Mullet. Thumping kick looking for Sherlock, who had 3 to beat. Rotano went back to Billy Huxtable. Close to the boundary line and still in play. They did pretty well then, the Hawks. Summed that up quite well. Although they haven't got out of jail just yet. Huxtable's handball was shot out to McCoy. A lot of players around this footy is holding the ball decision, and it will go the way of the Hawks. So Luke Broad, the recipient. to take the free kick.
It's been good, Broad.
Kept the kick very low and over the boundary line. McCoy the intended target on that occasion. So 61 points, the deficit. 5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Rotunno won the tap down. Thompson there trying to set the example to his teammates with a lot of ferocity around the footy. And the umpire to throw it up once again. Handball shot out by Rickard. McCoy takes possession now for the Hawks. Tumbles it forward. MacArthur did well. Got his handball away. It was intercepted by Dunn. Chain of handballs here for KILSYTH. Nice build-up. Mullet. Not his best kick for the day. Hasn't made too many mistakes, Ben Mullet, but that was one. And the Hawks managed to clear once again. Dodged the bullet. And the ball now with McMillan at half-back.
McMillan hand passes to the man over the top, but that gets smothered even, and he gets a chance to hand pass again, but eventually they have to go back to him to try to get a clearing kick, and his clearing kick goes out on the full. So if they're not under pressure, they put themselves under it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Damian, what would you do? What would you have said, sorry, if you were Ryan Flack, Glen Waverley coach at half-time? What would you have told the troops?
Probably to reignite the running game that we've become accustomed to over recent weeks for the Glen Waverley Hawks. They just succumb to the pressure too easily.
Sherlock comes in late, doesn't get his hands to it, but at ground level he's a danger, but it's wrapped up by the Hawks in the back pocket as they trail by 61 points. And we're talking about potentially Glen Waverley challenging you for the finals, but I reckon on this performance, KILSYTH have got Forest Hills in their sight. They might be looking for second, not just holding fourth. And it is a great day for the Cougars. 61-point lead, 7 minutes gone. It's out of bounds, 50 metres around from their goals here at Pink's Reserve.
It's their boundary side, thanks to LifeCare.
Yeah, I think the boundary umpire just made a bit of an error there before. The ball looked like it clearly landed in the field of play and he called it out on the full.
He probably had an expectation that Glen Waverley would kick it out in the full, so you can excuse him of that. But Glen Waverley, at least they're still getting the hands into the contest. I admire them for that. It's just that we've lamented the fact that they haven't been very good in open play. But contrary to that, KILSYTH, when they get up and running, they seem to be untouched going into some goals today. Again, Glen Waverley do clear it. They win another clearance out of a stoppage. But again, it's KILSYTH from centre back. Big opportunity to load up. Tackle came in. And now sharking the ball's Dunn. Dunn goes inside 50, looking for a min.
Good.
And there was a mark by Dunn, in fact.
Dunn to Dunn.
He kicked, it was Jesse to Jack, or was it the other way? Jack to Jesse.
Jack to Jesse.
And Jesse, the forward, who has kicked 27 goals before today, has added one in the first quarter. Will be looking to put his second on the board and get the margin back to 55 points.
Well, the Madden brothers will be pleased with the cohesion between the two Dunns, that's for sure.
Different spellings of the surnames. This one has an E.
There might be second cousins or something, but it's done with two ends. Kicks it long inside 50. Amin goes up.
Got it.
Ground level. Yeah. It is a goal from a metre out on the spot. It is Amin kicking his second goal for today, and he needs to get on to take some marks today. But it is now a 55-point lead for KILSYTH as Glen Waverley kicked the first for the third term.
They're a confident side, Glen Waverley. If I was Ryan Flack at halftime, I would have demanded first use of the ball, and they're starting to get that. And with that becomes their running game, and it is paying dividends. Won't get them back in this game, but you know it's still it's pleasing to see in the second half so far.
At least they protruded the KILSYTH wall when they had space in their forward line.
That's true.
So 55 points now, the lead
Clearance.
for KILSYTH. Quick kick out of the middle. KILSYTH win it from the clearance. This is Newman. He's only kicked one today, and he's off target on this occasion. So he kicked 3 last week, and he kicked the first goal of the day this afternoon. Since then, has been relatively quiet, and he has 1 goal, 2 to show for his efforts so far today.
Well, he only did cameos in Seinfeld.
That's true.
That's it.
Newman.
Ball on the wing position. Sinden.
Good kick.
Neat kick by Sinden was effective. Done. Handball was shot out to Rickard. Joe Rickard paddled it back inboard. That was well played and surely out of play. Yes, indeed, the boundary umpire finally says it's over. So he'll throw it back into play. It's 56 points, the lead for KILSYTH. In that second term, KILSYTH kicked 5 goals to Glen Waverley Hawks 1. So pretty dominant second quarter from them. Noonan's kick bounces just inside the field of play. He was looking for Benson and it was fisted over the boundary line.
So once again, we saw Glen Waverley. At least they're trying to take the game on. They didn't quite pay off for them, but again, trying to feed out that handball, trying to get their running game going. So, you know, at least they're being positive in the second half. They could easily, you know, drop the bundle and just call this game off, but at least they're giving it a red hot crack.
They are indeed. Benson sharply back nicely from the ruck contest. 25. Umpire says holding the ball, didn't dispose of it correctly. And so the free kick will go to the Hawks.
Tackling pressure lifted a little bit as well in this third term, the Hawks.
So it will be McMillan to take, no, in fact it's going to have to come back to Josh McMillan, but he'll have to kick over the man on the mark. So Josh McMillan, try it again, gave it to Cruz. Gavin Cruz comes inboard, kicks into the corridor. Mark taken then by Robbie Huxtable. Put himself under a lot of pressure then, really didn't need to do that. And KILSYTH have won the footy, but there was a trip, so free kick there against Cartwright. There's another Seinfeld reference. Short pass is on to Gould. Rickard's kick to the pocket. Wheeling around was Meachin, does really well. Wrigley for, I almost said East Burwood, he's ex-East Burwood of course. But KILSYTH gave it to Lancaster. Handball shot out to Irvine, who chanced his arm, just arched the back and then kicked it long, clearing kick out towards the wing. Jackson was the target. He won't be able to keep the ball in play, but nevertheless gaining a lot of meterage then was Scott Irvine for KILSYTH. Found the boundary line and it will be a boundary thrown with thanks to Choose Tap, Grant Campbell.
Glen Waverley much better in the contested situations this quarter, leading contested possessions 22 to 14.
Boundary side.
And an opportunity in just a moment to go boundary side for LifeCare Croydon, but Glen Waverley go inside 50 again, but the bounce of the ball doesn't work for them, so KILSYTH get a chance to clear it, but the up and under might just land into the hands of the Hawks. Big opportunity to run here through Huxtable. Billy Huxtable goes towards the leading and bouncing ball, gets to his teammate in Meachin. Meachin gets it in the corridor and a mark's been taken. So this is better play by Glen Waverley is done. We'll have a set shot from 20 metres out directly in front. And that's better play when they can get it open and finally stick some of those passes, even on the bounce, just to get it in the direction and done. Took a chest mark, 30 metres out, converts it, and it's a feel-good factor now. Glen Waverley Hawks get back to within 50 points. Dunn kicks his second, 5-3-33. KILSYTH for 12-11-83. I get a feeling that they're playing better and that they've got a bit of fitness edge at the moment.
Well, that was outstanding play by Meachin in the forward pocket. We can talk about the one-handed mark from Dunn, but Meachin was against 2 defenders on that occasion, managed to weave his way through traffic and affect a centering ball.
The thing is, you know, we talk about how Glen Waverley, you know, need a little bit of more firepower forward, but in Meachin and Dunn, they've got something to work with there. I mean, look, it is a bit of a project. They're young players, but there's plenty to work with there and can only get better going forward.
So an even 50 points now, the margin. And goal then to Jesse Dunn, his second of the day. So this has been a better third quarter from the Hawks. And they've managed to keep KILSYTH to just 1 goal in the first 14 minutes of this third quarter. So that's a much better effort. Quick kick from Wisniewski. Is that how you say it? Wisniewski?
Yeah, that's it.
Got it to Rickard. Rickard's handball into the congestion. This is Wrigley, who did really well. Then for KILSYTH, bursting clear. Wrigley goes in hard again, takes possession now. He was stripped of the footy, and that is holding the ball.
Better tackling once again from the Hawks.
So free kick to Sindon. Sindon's kick to full forward, no mark taken. Wrigley there was at the front of the pack, sharking it. Was immediately bundled up in the tackle. Was going nowhere. Definitely a lift in the intensity and just the sense of urgency a bit from the Hawks. They, I think they've got a bit of an appetite for the contest that maybe wasn't there at times in the first half. Short pass to Benson. To Sherlock, I should say. Sorry, Andy.
No, you're right. I was just going to say, Brad, you don't get the feel that it's a 50-point margin at the moment. Glen Waverley are playing as if this game has a lot on the line, so it's pleasing to see.
Sherlock's kick, hugging the boundary. And they have to do that because if they lose today, what is that, a 3-game gap between
Two and a half, yeah.
Or 2.5 game gap between 4th and 5th, and that's may as well be 3 games with percentage. So, you know, there's no, it is the last chance saloon really for the Hawks today. They have to just go for broke in this second half.
KILSYTH won't lose many games, you'd think, so they have to win this one, Glen Waverley.
Towards the wing position, Sherlock takes possession now, darts through the traffic. Floating handball was good. Sinden throws it on the boot. Very indiscriminate kick and ill-directed, and it was safely marked back there by MacArthur, who had that kick well scouted. Goes short, MacArthur to King. Matt King from the wing off a step, boots it forward, and big pack converging under the footy that time. Fisted over the boundary line for a throw, and it is still a 50-point lead to KILSYTH on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So Burton and Fitzpatrick came over the top to punch it out, and the boundary umpire is getting directed by the field umpire on his job. So we'll see how this one goes. It's a boundary throw in, half-back for Glen Waverley. Tap one by Thompson, though, for KILSYTH. He punches it forward. Wasn't really in the direction of a teammate, just hoping that someone would get onto it. And they are scrapping hard for the ball. Thompson now gets on the ball himself, takes it to ground. Tacklers come over the top, and it's held up 40 metres from the Cougars' goal. Thompson asks for a bit too high. The umpire has not much sympathy for that call. Thompson stands over that, and maybe the chat to the umpire work for him, because the ruckman going over the top of him has given away a free kick. Maybe the ruckman needed to win the tap, and Thompson gets the free kick. He'll be kicking with inside 50, and it's more than a steadier when you lead by 50, but Glen Waverley have had a good 5 to 10 minutes before this shot at goal. It's long, it's straight. Has it got distance? Markers go at it, ground level. Will a boot get onto it? No. Hands for Glen Waverley. Tap it over the line, and it's 12-12, 84. KILSYTH leading Glen Waverley Hawks 5-3-33.
24 scoring shots to 8. They're tripling them, so it's one-sided.
Lovely kick in then by Gavin Cruz. Found Potts straight down the middle, and Mitchell Potts takes the mark. He kicks to the middle of the ground. Sinden the target. Or Dunn, in fact, it was. The ball circles over the back. Jack Dunn takes possession now, races in, he kicks, but it's nobody back there. The only man there was Peter Lancaster for KILSYTH, who safely took the mark and then thumps the ball out to this wing position. It all opens up for KILSYTH. Jackson has a bounce. Matty Jackson boots it forward, and Newman there, the target. It was fisted away from him towards the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw-in forward pocket here for KILSYTH.
I think KILSYTH would fancy the pedestrian nature of the game in the past 5 minutes. Just as long as they stifle Glen Waverley scoring, it's enough for them.
Yeah, it's been a great team performance as well. So many contributors in this game.
Well played then by Rattano, palmed it down. Out of defence, the kick towards the wing. Noonan showed good strength in the contest. Eastman did really well. Got the little handball off to Dunn of the Jack variety. Jack's kick to the pot. Jack Dunn's kick to the pocket. Meechan does well.
Oh,
Great
yes.
play.
Goal of the day.
And he has managed to just avoid the goalpost. And you're absolutely right. I think that's clear clubhouse leader for our goal of the day this afternoon. Kurt Meechan kicking his second of the day. And the Hawks stay in the contest. 44 points now the lead. KILSYTH 12-12, 84. Glen Waverley Hawks 6-3, 39 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 45 points, in fact, the deficit. And what a great goal that was.
Oh, it's certainly up there with the Westfield Knox goal of the day for this afternoon. I'll tell you what, he read the ball perfectly, didn't he, Andy? He was caught behind with his opponent, but the kick was weighted to his advantage, and a great dribbling goal.
Yeah, just sort of shepherded the ball, I suppose, and just created the space for himself, and just threw it on the boot and let the ball talk.
And it did. It told a good story. But so far, it's not a fairy tale so far for the Hawks. It's a bit of a massacre. but I just get the feeling that they're going to have a good finish. Can we have a thriller on our hands? It would have to be a big finish, but it's now in the hands of Robert Huxtable from outside 50. Gets it on towards Dunn. The bounce eludes him so the defence can turn it over. Huxtable tries to make up with a tackle, but the hand passes elude. Now it's in the hands of Cartwright. Cartwright just gets his kick to the wing. Thompson needs to be strong, does stand up in a tackle, and the handballs go forward through her pitch. Now getting a load-up kick over the head of Newman, and the defender was in good position for Pitts to take the mark last line. He was behind Newman, but that was better for him. The short pass, now they've got themselves into trouble. Handball, open goal, and KILSYTH snatch another goal through Glen Waverley's errors, and it's Mullet kicking goal number 4 for himself and 13 for his team. 13-12-90, leading Glen Waverley Hawks 6-3-39. And what could have been a nice turnover move for Glen Waverley turned into a hazardous turnover.
Well, that's a morale sapper, Andy.
Yeah, it's absolutely, as you said, demoralising, I suppose. And then that's the difference between the two sides. You know, KILSYTH moved that ball forward with aplomb. They look fantastic. Yeah, yes, the kick was ill-directed, but defensive turnovers are just so costly in this game, and Mullet has put them to the sword once again.
Boundary side.
Yeah, a bit of a heartbreaker, that goal. That is number 6. Certainly has six goals for Jay. Sherlock, not a lot of reaction to that one from the players out on the field, but he's
too tired. They've
got
been
the
running
half.
too hard.
No, I think it's just a case of
the half dozen.
Yeah, it's just a case of job done, I suppose. But I mean, there's still a quarter and a bit to go. So
that well and truly shuts the gate now.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah, KILSYTH will win this game, but yeah, as you said, not a lot of emotion. That doesn't really need to be. I think they've got their minds sort of firmly on the bigger picture. But there is still a quarter and a bit to go, so they've just got to play this one out.
Yeah, but some forwards, it doesn't matter if it's goal 1 or goal 10 or if it's a thrashing or a close game, they celebrate every goal like it's their birthday.
Ground level, Wrigley wins it off the back of the square, comes into the contest, hands it back to a teammate, puts him under a bit of pressure, and the kick does go off the side of the boot and out to the wing and out of bounds. Not being able to stop it was Ashby, who's been a good player in the first half of this game. So we go to Choose Tap Stats with Soupy Campbell.
Inside 50s 11 apiece this quarter, so Glen Waverley being much more competitive. They won the contested ball 36-29, and Sherlock did celebrate that goal, but it was before the umpire signalled the goal. He celebrated as soon as he kicked it, so he may have missed that, Brad, but he certainly celebrated.
And those stats just show that even if Glen Waverley get enough of the ball, it's just the cleanness to get it open that has meant KILSYTH have been too good so far. And no one won clearly that ball. Trying his best was Goodinson. Place to the boundary line, but the boundary umpire will have to do his work now. So it's centre wing of Pink's Reserve, 24 minutes gone, third term. 96 plays 39, 4th v 5th. And KILSYTH will solidify their position in the finals. They go forward again, inside 50. Sherlock falls over just as the mark was coming towards him. Jack Dunn detaches it, a good hand on to try to get it at ground level to Glen Waverley. Nice work by McCoy, good poise, hands it back. The kick goes sideways across ground to Cruz. Cruz from the right back pocket, looks long down the line. He's got some runners, but he's also got MacArthur for KILSYTH running onto the ball, and the boundary line does win any race that developed there. On the outer side of Pink's Reserve, just repeating that score before three-quarter time, it is 96 playing 39. Sherlock, 6 goals. Mullet, 4 goals for KILSYTH. And in general play, they've been pretty impressive today. The kick goes inside 50 again. Sherlock pushes his way to the marking contest, but drops it just as he gets his hands up. The clearing kick, just Wrigley just puts his knee up, and strong mark in the centre of the ground. So KILSYTH on a turnover, get it out wide to the Bavarian side. Ashby takes the mark, looks to play on. Man of the mark does his job, holds him up, but Ashby again gets running, and a short pass is beautifully done to Herpage. Herpage half forward, looks inboard and looks long. Might even go backwards. Wrigley says, no, don't come to me.
Where's Sherlock?
So here is Sherlock in the pocket, 2 arms up, tap. Nice spoil coming in there by the defender. And that sees it over the line. So good work by Fitzpatrick at that time. Knocks it out of bounds. That's a 57-point margin. Well deserved by KILSYTH as we wound down in term 3. Push out by Curry. Umpire says all fair. Kick by Curry on the bounce. Glen Waverley at first there, but he hands it to Sherlock. Sherlock around the corner and just misses to the left. Benson, sorry. That is another minus score, and it is a 58-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Just going to that kick before too, Sherlock. It's good that the Glen Waverley side, that they actually marshalled the defence a lot better, forced Sherlock to actually have to lead wide, and even if he did mark it, he's got a tough shot on goal. In any case, they spoiled it, so much better effort there by the Glen Waverley defence.
Was indeed. Gavin Cruz with the long kick out, but KILSYTH win the footy back. Potts, though, takes the mark deep in defence for the Hawks.
They just seem more organised down back now. It's better.
Potts goes short.
Had plenty of practice.
Ryan Gould, left footer. He goes short to Pitts. Jason Pitts takes the tackler on and then measures the kick and finds Steinfort on the wing. Steinfort just pokes a short one to Sinden.
Good hands.
There we go.
Came in board nicely then to Gould. Good build up from the Hawks this time. Robbie Huxtable gathers it in. Had nowhere to go, but he did do well. He didn't panic. Got the handball out to Eastman. Eastman's handball into open space. Found Meechan. Meechan's kick to the top of the square. It was fisted away. And Lancaster did really well on hands and knees. He got the important handball away then. Wrigley almost took a mark for KILSYTH at half-back. Had plenty of support. It's Irvine there with Wrigley, the two KILSYTH players working together.
Boundary side.
Forcing a ball up with thanks to LifeCare. Let's cross down to Daniel Joyce.
Luke Newman for KILSYTH just came off before clutching at his lower back, so I'll just keep an eye on him to see if he comes back on the ground.
We will indeed. A lot of players around this footy. And it's going nowhere. Ben Benson just hands it back to the umpire.
Just wondering if injuries, if Daniel can help us out about Pape, if he ever came back from being iced up around the ankles earlier.
Yeah, Tim Pape did end up returning to the ground after that left ankle injury earlier in the game.
Thank you very much.
I don't think we've really seen him though, have we?
No.
Certainly not in the action very much. So a boundary throw in once again.
Just an around-the-ground score thanks to the local burger company. South Belgrave leading Mitcham at three-quarter time by 4 goals.
Wow. Bit of a turn up there.
So it's a boundary throw in close to Glen Waverley's goals. They'll want a morale booster before three-quarter time, but the tap has been won by KILSYTH, and Ashby joins in the linking hand passes. His kick to the centre is only to the advantage of Burton. Burton has to bend over. Eventually Potts helps him out. Kicks the ball to half forward. The fight for the ball included Huxtable trying to work his strength, but KILSYTH again in the contest, too strong. Long kick to centre forward. Sherlock didn't want to be the man to go for it, and he's been surrounded by white jumpers, and one of them takes the mark. So the skirting ball onto the wing is a shifter for Glen Waverley Hawks. Mark taken by Rickard. Rickard looks down the ground, hoping for a mark, but a punch comes in well by the defence. Lancaster did well to get into position. And at ground level, here's a chance for Glen Waverley. Dunn trying to get onto the ball. Now it's got some help by Steinford. Steinford trying to take on 2 tacklers as he grasps the ball. The defence holding up nicely through Lancaster, and he can't get around Eastman, so boundary is his friend. Deep in defence, 30 metres around from goals.
Just noticed there, KILSYTH, they're not really lowering their eyes. They're bombing a little bit too much and indiscriminately as well. Glen Waverley are forcing a few turnovers, which is good on them, but KILSYTH just got to lower those eyes.
Here's a chance for Glen Waverley. They did win the tap through Steinford, but a tackle over the top might be a relieving free kick for KILSYTH this time, as or is it Glen Waverley getting the free kick? Because Thompson's standing the mark, so he must have impeded the little man to turn around, and I'll find out who's got that free kick. It is McCoy. The real McCoy's got it. Macca, as he's known on his training Guernsey. A late inclusion for McInerney.
Sorry, Wisniewski. Yeah,
sorry. Anyway, all that, now it's Wisniewski, and he's kicked towards the goals. Doesn't get the distance. Thankfully for Glen Waverley, it's Mmmm on the spot, taking the mark just before the right post. And Mmmm, who's probably had a quiet day in his own terms, 30 before now, 2 today. Certainty for goal number 3.
Well, they're pushing him along the goal line, I think.
It's been hard for a Glen Waverley Hawks forward to have a good game. Mm's that type of player, he's a live wire. I would throw him into the midfield just to get him a little bit more exposure on the ball. Might be a bit late in the game, but he's a quality player.
He really can't play on now. He's been put on the most acute of angles you can have, and now he can't do the bend around because that'll be play on. So he's going to have to do a straight drop punt, the traditional view.
I could do the banana.
Well, even before the siren, he was standing there ready to do the check side.
Yeah, he was. So he can't go in board. Now he's standing too close to the man on the mark. He's absolutely confused on what to do because he can't play on. You can't do the Stevie J anymore. You've actually got to kick it straight over the man on the mark to kick the goal. He's only standing at the point post. The man on the mark's goal post. He's thinking he's going to do a banana. He's got all the time in the world, actually, so he doesn't have to rush it. He still kicked the goal. So pandemonium in preparation turns into ecstasy for a goal. Glen Waverley Hawks, 7-3-45, not their best day. 52 points behind KILSYTH, 14 goals, 13-97. So that is Mm's third goal. Meechin has got 2, and at 3/4 time, just repeating that scores before we go on our break, it is KILSYTH 14-13-97, leaving Glen Waverley Hawks 7-3-45 by 52 points as we cross back to the studio for one more break as we come back for 4th quarter action after this break on Radio Eastern 98.1.
Oh, Barry, he was a great guy, a real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through his speakers, so at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue, and Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
8 after 4, Radio Eastern 98.1, CFL Gameday. Barry Cott's back in the studio and we'll return for the last quarter of our Division 4 game this afternoon between KILSYTH and Glen Waverley Hawks. And currently in Melbourne's outer east, it's sitting on 11 degrees. A bit of a chilly day, and we're expecting tomorrow a nice sunny day, in fact. So it's all looking good for tomorrow. It'll be an overnight low of a rather cold 0 in Melbourne's outer east and a top of 13. For Monday, expecting a sunny day and 14. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 15. And Wednesday, mostly sunny and 16. Time to check some AFL scores this afternoon of games being played. And the game up at the Gold Coast, the Carrara Ovals between the Gold Coast Suns and Greater Western Sydney. It's currently the 30-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, and it's GWS 8-15-63, leading Gold Coast 8-4-52. So 11-point lead to GWS. The goal kickers for Greater Western Sydney. Lobb has 2, 1 each to Cameron and Downey. Possessions, Green 20, Scully 20, and Shaw also 20. And for Gold Coast, Gary Ablett has kicked 2, Maters 2, and Mel also 2. Ablett has 21 possessions, Mel Chesky 21, Paolacci 18. And the other game is down at Cardinia Park down in Geelong this afternoon between Geelong and the Western Bulldogs. It's a rather tight game indeed. It's a 24-minute mark of the last quarter, and it's Geelong 10-12-72 leading the Western Bulldogs 9-10-64. So an 8-point lead to the Cats coming into the final quarter, almost siren time for the Cats. Hawkins has kicked 3, Motlop is also 3, Caddy 1, Sessions, Caddy 36, Kelly 28, Duncan 24 for the Cats. For the Bulldogs, their major goal kicker is Dixon with 3, Wallace with 2, and Downhouse with 1. Possessions, Downhouse 7, McRae 29, and Wallace 26. And the twilight game being played this afternoon at Etihad Stadium, Docklands Stadium, and that's between Collingwood and the West Coast Eagles, and it gets underway at 4:35 this afternoon. We'll take a little short break and be back for the last quarter of our Division 4 game of EFL Gameday. It's KILSYTH versus Glen Waverley Hawks right here at Radio Eastern 98.1.
It's crunch time. Is it fully speak? Nah, man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch. Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream. And it's crunch time at the G, and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour. So this is footy speak. I'm just saying, man, the salted caramel crunch and great out after a day at the footy. Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Program sponsor.
EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around-the-ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local to your footy, right from the palm of your hand. EFL.org.au is a must visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au.
Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Pinks Reserve, and on a day unlike what we've seen in the past fortnight or so, it is bathed in sunshine out here in KILSYTH, and what a sight. Before we head back to the boys for the final term as KILSYTH led by 52 points, we might quickly get the Choose Tap match stats thanks to Grant Campbell and Yarra Valley Water Choose Tap.
Pretty even third quarter. The clearance is just 14-13 in favour of KILSYTH. Both had 15 inside 50s. The only stat Glen Waverley have been winning all day is the free kick count. They had 10-2 in the third quarter, up to 26-9 for the match, yet they're still over 50 points behind.
And I'll hand back over to Gav Casey and Brad Henderson for a call. The final term here at Pinks Reserve.
Thanks very much, Dyson. And it is the last quarter just about to get underway. And as it stands right now, it's a 52-point lead to KILSYTH. And they seem to have this game well and truly in their keeping. The Glen Waverley Hawks in that third quarter kicked 4 goals 1 to KILSYTH's 3 goals 3. So good effort by the Hawks. They outscored KILSYTH for the term, but only by a small margin, as Huxtable takes possession. Got it to Ratunno, who dished it off then to Burton. Burton's kick was effective. The Waverley Hawks teaming together nicely. This is Pape, who still looks pretty proppy, you have to say. He spent some time off the field throughout this game, and he took that mark, but he looks a bit ginger, that's for sure. MacArthur there deep in defence. Goes laterally to Lancaster. So Peter Lancaster's kick to Richards. Brendan Richards shares it with Wrigley. Gee, that was a nice fend off by Richards. Took the tackler on, put him on the deck. Jackson, who's just gotten better the further this game's gone on.
Yeah,
lovely kick inboard by Jackson to Ashby. Ashby wheels around. She's a beautiful user of the ball, James Ashby. He was looking then for Mullet. Handball over the top was effective to Goodinson, who's another Colts player playing in the seniors today for KILSYTH. Her pitch had his kick smothered, and in the cold conditions that would have been smarting a little bit.
He actually heard it in the effects mic, that's how.
Yeah. It was the full-blooded smother.
Yeah.
Side.
don't let the sun deceive you. It is very cold here at Pinks Reserve today outside. Let's cross boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare to Daniel Joyce.
Just something to note, Luke Newman has started this final term on the ground, so it looks like his back injury was nothing too severe.
Clearing kick by Glen Waverley, turned into an uncontested mark, even though there was 10 players around it. Broad gets the hand pass, has to hand pass forward of himself to elude a tackle, but now he loses the ball because KILSYTH rush in, and they'll have a chance through there. Jackson from the left wing to get it towards Sherlock on the bounce. Nearly takes it with him, leaves it behind Curry. He threw it away after he eluded, got his hands free of the tackle. Umpire was on the wrong side of him, didn't see that he was playing basketball. He should be in that centre over to our right of Pinks Reserve, but we'll get more scores as the ball's in Glen Waverley's hands.
Locoburg, thanks to the Locoburg Co. Baldwin lead by 106, Blackburn by 27 over South Croydon, and Roval by 51 over Lilydale.
So there'll be some good updates in this last quarter because there's some upsets brewing in all 4 divisions of this EFL Saturday, as Glen Waverley did get it forward, but KILSYTH managed to turn it over, and the mark's been taken by Herpich. Herpich is now half forward. He's got his teammate Jackson to his left, eventually goes towards him. He's got open space to get a pass, but it was a bit too much finesse. And Sherlock, well, he seems to be on one leg. He's not running too fast, and he's happy to see it over the line. Back to Dyson Baker for scores.
Division 2, Scoresby lead Doncaster East still by 5 points. Donny East kicking a goal right on the siren of 3/4 time. Doncaster lead by 30 points over One Turner South, and the Waverley Blues led by 1 point. They now trail by 13 in 10 minutes into the last quarter.
Pretty shallow boundary throw in that one. Umpire blows the whistle. It's paid a free kick against Curry. It's going to have to come back to Ratunno. So a free kick paid against Curry in that ruck contest. We'll get some more scores shortly. This is Gould, who brings it out towards the half-back position and close to the boundary line, over the boundary line. Back to Dyson Baker with some more scores.
The Basin lead Heathmont by 28 points. South Belgrave lead by 4 straight kicks over Mitcham. 10-goal quarter from Templestowe sees them lead by 83 points over Churnside Park. Sylvan lead by 2 points over Park Orchards. Ringwood lead by 39 over Whitehorse, and Upper Ferntree Gully by 16 over Baronia.
Benson did well. Got it to Fogarty, then off to Van Gulik. Josh Van Gulik's high up and under kick for Sherlock. Had to wait under it a long time. Takes possession now, Sherlock. His kick wasn't a bad one for Mullet, gave him a chance, but the ball will be cleared away here by Cruz. Gavin Cruz in the bright orange boots, thumps it forward. MacArthur couldn't quite reel the mark in for KILSYTH. And there's a whistle there, didn't seem to be too much in it.
Just held when he was going with the ball. So free kick to KILSYTH.
Free kick to Brendan Richards. Richards' kick to the wing was a good one, and nice diving mark then. Sliding in to take it was Goodinson, I think that is, for KILSYTH on the outer side. So Ryan Goodinson, as I mentioned, Colts player, playing some good senior footy today, as is James Ashby. So they've got blooding plenty of youth as well in this side, even though they've also got a lot of experience. Long kick forward, and that's a terrific mark for the Hawks by Meechan. Meechan's kick to full forward, and the mark's taken. I think this is Kurt Meechan. It is. So
I think it was Dunn who marked the ball before.
Yeah. So he hasn't had a bad day up forward, Kurt Meechan. He's kicked 2 goals. He kicked what I think we're pretty sure will, certainly so far, it's been the best goal of the day so far. And with the 25-metre penalty here, he's going to have an absolute soda for his third. So slots it through, no problems. 3 goals for the day for Kurt Meechan, and very understated celebrations after that goal, to say the least. Back to Dyson Baker with some more scores around the EFL.
Division 4, thanks to the local Burger Co. Coldstream lead by 40 points over the Eastern Lions. Forest Hill not having it all their own way, lead by 14 points only over Surrey Park, and an update score with half-time, it was Nunawading by 21 points over Ferntree Gully. So if you're at it, either Nunawading, Ferntree Gully or Warrandyte, Donvale, make sure you let us know. Tweet at FootyEFL.
So it was Meechan kicking the last goal. Had 2 grabs at it, and maybe that's why the 25-metre for a disputed call. The umpire said, no, don't doubt my umpiring ability, as
Yeah, they haven't put that goal up on the scoreboard just yet either, Gav, so just be aware of that. It's 15-13, 103 now.
Yep.
To 8-3-51 because KILSYTH were 14-13 at three-quarter time.
Do you think the game petered out and the scoreboard attendance just clocked off?
Lost a bit of interest. Yeah,
it's just not, just not here. And the kick from the centre clearance win for KILSYTH lands into a forwards hands, and they go again to their big forwards, and Sherlock takes a mark out in front, gets a good lead going diagonally across, and on the 45-degree angle, he takes a chest mark. And he's looking at goal number 7 for the day.
Proves the angle a bit.
Yeah, it does. He certainly, on the slow walk, the umpire probably got a bit bored how long he was taking to get back to his position. He's allowed him to come inside the corridor, and he drifts inside the corridor to get some distance. And the goal umpire does a little bit of shifting, but in the end, he'll signal a goal. Goal number 7 for Sherlock. Maybe a man of the match award coming his way, but not for me to push who I would vote for in Concave Player of the Day. But it's 16 goals, 13, 109, and Glen Waverley at 8-3-51. Grant Campbell, you've got some Choose Tap stats.
Yeah, Jay Sherlock for the game now. 20 disposals, 10 marks, and 7 goals too, so pretty good afternoon.
Yeah, for a key forward, it's massive stats.
So 52 points the lead. And back in the middle once again. May have got that wrong actually about the scoreboard operators.
I think you did.
Yeah, I think I did. It was the goal the other way.
It was.
So apologies to
They did put up.
They have been on the money all day. That was Van Gulik who got it out of the middle, and he's found Sherlock once again.
Number 8.
So he could kick his 8th goal of the day here, Jay Sherlock.
His personal best is 8 early in the season as well. So this would equal his 2015 PB.
Good if he reached 10.
And the honour board just above our heads states that he won the 2013 Best and Fairest for KILSYTH.
No.
Sherlock's kick falls well short. It's in the square. Plenty of defenders back there. Somehow, KILSYTH made something out of nothing. I think it was Mullet who threw it on the boot, slammed it into the post, and a minor score there for KILSYTH. 15-14 at 104 to the Glen Waverley Hawks. 8-3-51. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard, a 53-point lead to KILSYTH.
Herbich nearly took mark of the day. We don't have a prize for that, so he better get on the score sheet some other way to get himself a prize. But it was a good ride as Glen Waverley have one short pass, try to get out of defence. Another short pass falls short, and Broad has to hand it back to where it came from. Now eventually Glen Waverley do get some open space, but the kick again doesn't find a man in their colours, and Richards takes the mark on the Pavilion wing side, close to the boundary, hands it to Noonan. Noonan runs into a bit of resistance, so has to run backwards, and they're now sharing it around. Doyle takes the mark on the wing, hands it back to Richards.
Sherlock.
Richards goes to centre forward. It does Sherlock take the mark? No, he doesn't, so at ground level, Thompson will help him out. Just sort of throws it his way. He was hand passing and the tackle came in, and it was the old up you go throw. And a free kick goes to Glen Waverley.
Doncaster East have kicked a goal. They lead by a point early in the final term over Scoresby.
Will Taylor.
Jack Dunn for the Hawks. Lovely kick. Came in board to Gould. Gould wanted to handball over the top, but his handball was partly smothered. Benson takes possession and goes short now to Noonan. So they're sharing it around the Cougars. Noonan goes laterally out to Cartwright. Cartwright's kick. Good one. And that's big Sean Curry, who wheels around onto his left foot. Puts it up towards half forward. The Hawks win the footy back here, though. Fitzpatrick's kick, bit of a floater. Jesse Dunn, can he take possession? In one-on-one contest, he throws the ball on the boot, but Wrigley's there to steady the ship for the Cougars. And they will come out of defence once again through MacArthur. Cam MacArthur. Nice pass up towards the wing where he finds big Andrew Herbich. Herbich drives it to a 2-on-1. Not the best option, but Lee Thompson made it look good. Safely took the mark and then handed it off to Ashby. And Ashby's kick again was a pretty good one. Gave Mullet a chance. Ball was handballed on. Round the corner, Goodinson. I think he's kicked a great goal there for the Cougars. Yes, he has. Ryan Goodinson has KILSYTH's 16th of the day. 16-14, 110. to the Glen Waverley Hawks 8-3-51 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It's a 7th goal kicker, so they're starting to share it around. Sherlock, yes, he's got the main portion of it, but we talked about some of the players that could obviously be another avenue to goal, and I think they've found one in Mullet, but they've got more beyond that. So this can only bode well for the forward setup of the KILSYTH Football Club going forward.
Croydon lead by a point over the Waverley Blues. 20 minutes gone, final term.
That is a big game in Division 2 because they are fighting for top 4. Croydon, of course, being on top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So it's a big game. As we go towards second, Doncaster leading that division. That'll be a big result. But back at Pinks Reserve, Glen Waverley still fighting for every contest. It's good to see. They've had a good season. It hasn't been their day today, and KILSYTH show why, because they muscle their way into the contest, get it forward. Ashby doesn't get the bounce of the ball that he would like, so the turnover on half-back means it goes out wide, finds Rickard. Rickard goes down the line, hoping for Huxtable. Huxtable sees it go over his head, and the defence will run onto it, including Curry. Curry, the big man, got plenty of time, even when tackled. He gets a short kick to Richards. Richards goes towards the wing, well-weighted pass, finds his man, and off and running they are through Irvine. Irvine goes into the there's the call, but he was too in line, and the man in front takes the mark for Glen Waverley Hawks. So we might be looking for Sherlock to kick goal number 8, but he couldn't get to it that time. So Glen Waverley hold up nicely. Short kick to Potts. Potts is directly at centre-half back, and he's a bit lost for options so far. He's got one short if he likes it to Sinden. Ignores that. Just runs quite indirectly. Now his turnover kick finds its way to Richards on half-back. He hands it over to Mullet. Mullet going back to half-back for his get a possession. Shezza of Curry. He gets it on to Doyle. Doyle just short passes it very casually to Wrigley. They're very poised in defence in this quarter. The hand pass is a bit too casual by Fogarty. Turnover might fall away of a Min taking an open free mark 40 metres out as the turnover kick went his way. And he's found himself looking for goal number 4 in the final quarter. And Glen Waverley Hawks' 9th goal of the day. So it'll only be somewhat of a consolation, but it'll be a confidence booster for a Min, who, even though he's kicked 3 goals, probably hasn't had that many more kicks, to be matter of fact. But he is a good kick for goal. The goal umpire doesn't do too much work, but signal that it is a goal. Goal number 9, 9-3-57. Goal 4 for the Min, and KILSYTH 16-14-1-10. It is a 53-point lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Must say, for a forward that's been starved of opportunity, 4 goals isn't a bad return. So Adam Amin has played his part in today's game. And there's a bit to work with the forward line for the Glen Waverley Hawks.
Scoresby currently leading by a goal over Doncaster East, 10 minutes into the final term.
Yeah, good call, Andy, because about Adam Amin, because, he hasn't really set the world on fire today, but he's still kicked 4 goals.
He's taken his opportunities.
That's a goal a quarter, effectively, so you'd certainly take that. And as you said, hasn't had many opportunities, so he knows where the goals are and he knows how to find them. Thanks to Choose Tap Grant Campbell.
Contested possessions this quarter, 22-17 in favour of KILSYTH. Uncontested possessions, 39-18 their way.
And Amin and Meechan, between the two of them, have kicked 7 of the Hawks' 9 goals for the day. Back in the middle. A lot of players around this footy. King applies the tackle. It's a similar story down the other end. Sherlock and Mullet, they've kicked 11. Between the two of them, 11 of KILSYTH, 16 goals.
Boundary side.
High throws it up. Ball quickly kicked out of the pack. Out towards the boundary. They charge towards the footy. Huxtable led the race against Michael Johns. And out of bounds on the full, so a free kick will go the way of KILSYTH. With thanks to LifeCare, Daniel Joyce, boundary side.
I did mention Luke Newman did start the term on the ground, but he is now off with a lot of tape to his lower back and the jacket on, so it looks like his day's done.
So Rickard gave it then to Burton, and Burton's kick hugging the boundary, looking for Jesse Dunn. And Joe Rickard right just in front of us.
He's a good boy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in a spot of bother. He's limping away.
We couldn't quite see it. I mean, he got the tackle off and it came off the KILSYTH player's boot, but he does, it looks very proppy.
So the sun continues to bathe the ground in sunshine at the moment. quick kick came out of defence. Eastman there for the Hawks, did well. Gave it to Cruz. Dunn. Little handball from Potts to Broad, then back to Jack Dunn. Dunn's kick into the path of Sinden. Can he get a clean gather here? Yes, he does. Put himself under a lot of pressure though, and he coughed it up. Just didn't sum up that situation at all well, Paul Sinden. And Sherlock, of all players, was the one who cleared the ball then for Kilsyth out of defence.
Benson was first onto it, but Glen Waverley Hawks have got numbers in defence and they get onto the ball, and with a couple of hand passes it gets back to Robert Huxtable, who's doing a bit of the mopping up work, gets it a half back. It's a precise kick to Rickard and he's allowed to run on, gets around the direct opponent. He goes to half forward, one-on-one battle, and it was just a tug on the jumper from the front, and it's a free kick to Meechan. Meechan, who's kicked 3 goals today, probably goal of the day in the third term, when he bent it around from a tight angle to dribble it through. And we've ticked over 15 minutes in this final quarter. Meechan goes long into the goal square. He goes, and the flyer comes over the top, but it might have been a push. And thankfully for Kilsyth, it goes their way, and Lancaster will leave with a free kick on the last line. He kicks it out wide, finds another teammate, and this time it's Goodinson, who's had not a bad game as we go on. He looks like might give him a chance to play more games at the end of this season. The Colts player that's come up today. That was a bit of a throw hand pass on the wing, and Glen Waverley will give up this free kick. And there's a bit of push and shove, frustration. It's actually it's actually Glen Waverley's free kick actually, and Curry has got the yellow card. I don't know if he actually threw a punch. It might have been a short jab, but and he's been sent off by the umpire. So Curry, there's been a really influential player today, and he's given away. Does a 25-metre go with that as well, guys? I'm thinking. It is a free kick already. So we're just waiting to see what the umpire does, because it's almost like he's making a big detail of stopping the game. So it gives us a chance to go around the grounds. Dyson Baker, what's the scores in all divisions?
Oh, and thanks to the local Burger Co. Croydon lead Waverley Blues by 3 points. In fact, the final siren has just blared. Thanks to Wayne Brasher there on Twitter. Croydon 13-7-85 have defeated the Waverley Blues 12-10-82 by just 3 points. And at the 14-minute mark of the final term, Scoresby lead Doncaster East by 7 points.
And that's a big result, because Doncaster East want to get into top 4
as
well.
That's right.
So eventually, Brad, while I was thinking about scores around the East, we've got a goal opportunity for Glen Waverley Hawks, and from 30 metres out directly in front, it's a miss to the left, and it was by Eastman. So after all that curry kerfuffle, and that is not a restaurant item at an Indian restaurant, it's a minor score for Glen Waverley, 9-5-59. Glen Waverley trailing Kilsyth 16-14, 110.
And Peter Lancaster brings the ball back in, short to Benson. Ex-Muralbach Jr. A lot of players around this footy. Benson sets off with the footy. Wasn't his best kick, but it worked out okay. King up towards the wing, where Herpich was under the footy for a while then and had it fisted away from him over the boundary line.
Final score from Springfield Park. The Ringwood Football Club 14-13-97 have defeated the Whitehorse Pioneers 8-7-55.
It's 52 points, the margin here. Pink's Reserve, that was Thompson who won the tap for Kilsyth. Knocked it forward. I still can't get used to that one. Wisniewski there was the player who took the ball to the boundary line.
Just call him Oliver if you want.
Hawks. Yeah, I might try that. Back into play. Steinfurt won the tap that time. Down for the Hawks. Strong tackle on Dan Eastman. And ball was going nowhere.
Fizz has been taken out of this game, but I'm trying to think of some of Kilsyth's better players. It's been a pretty all-round team performance with them.
Has indeed. It's going to be hard, I guess, to go past the obvious in terms of the goal, big goal kickers. But Ben Mullett, after an awesome first half, he's probably drifted out of the game to a large extent in this second half. He may struggle to sneak into the votes as the ball comes forward there for Kilsyth.
Jack Dunn's been all right.
Jack Dunn's probably been the Hawks' best, I reckon, today. Neat handball to Gould. Ryan Gould through the middle. Boots it forward. Johns there did well. Just gave off the handball to Lancaster. Neat kick by Richards. Brennan Richards got it further afield. Richards shared it with Irvine. Now it's Benson. Benson's kick, looking for the big key forwards down there, but there was plenty of Hawks back there to defend. And Eastman gets a clearing kick for the Hawks out into the path of Broad, who's kept trying all day. Luke Broad dives over the footy. Fogarty there, content to rush for the boundary line as if he was scoring a try, and there'll be a boundary throw in with thanks to the, what's it called again?
The local burger company.
Local burger company.
You won't be getting any free burgers now,
No,
bro.
I'll have Brad's burger.
Here's Dyson Baker.
Damian Watson, actually. Division 3, South Belgrade 15-13, 103, leading Mitcham 9-9-63. In fact, the final siren's gone, so South Belgrade 40-point winners there. And Upper Ferntree Gully have held on against Baronia 8-9-57, the Kings to Baronia 7-7-49.
Some big results in the
South
Eastern
Belgrade,
Footy League.
huge.
And the changing ladder is a big impact as we head towards finals. We're pretty sure now that KILSYTH have sealed their finals place with a big win over Glen Waverley Hawks. They go forward again. MacArthur's got it. He's moved forward, hoping to get some possessions turning into goals. Big leap from behind by Mullet. He punches it down at ground level. It's been sharked by Cruz. Cruz's kick's been chopped off, and Goodison runs onto it from 50, loads up. He could go all the way. It was Fogarty, and at ground level, it's again KILSYTH getting the ball, but it's been pinched off him by the 46 for Glen Waverley, Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick gets it over his teammate, and Glen Waverley, they try to run it. McCoy gets it again, trying to get some clean passage going. And Huxtable Robert just couldn't get it to bounce his way. And again, Doyle comes in for KILSYTH. Helped out by Johns. Johns' hand pass has been chopped off by Broad. Huxtable tried to help him out, and out of bounds finally on the wing of Pink's Reserve Pavilion side. More scores for that sponsor indeed, local burger company.
Park Orchards, after trailing at the final change, have defeated Silver by 43 points with a 9-1 final term, 17-9, 111 to 10-8, 68, and Scoresby lead by 15 points with 7 minutes to go.
Ooh. Some big results coming tonight.
Thank you there to Damian Watson. Thompson's kick forward for KILSYTH. A lot of players under this footy. Shot out then to Irvine, who's been pretty good all day for KILSYTH. Quick kick out of the pack by Fitzpatrick. Up towards the wing. Wrigley liked his game in defence today. Gave it to Van Gooley, who gave the don't argue. Too high. That's been disallowed. So it was Josh Van Gooley there conceding the free. And we'll go to Robbie Huxtable. So Robbie Huxtable on true wing position for the Hawks. Boots it forward. Ball carried over the head then of Wrigley. And Min for goal number 4. Goal number 5, in fact, it would have been. He was way off target that time.
That's another thing about Glen Waverley's forward line. They've had 3 goal kickers for the game, and they've kicked 9 goals, but they haven't got any goals from their midfield, and that's something that they're going to need to add to their game moving forward. At least for the rest of the season, to try and kick a winning score, because they're just not scoring enough at the moment.
I'd have to say that their mids have had to drop back more than get forward today.
Yeah,
so
and that's because of the reactive football they've been playing. They haven't got that first use, and that's unfortunate for them.
Thompson won the tap decisively. Goodinson at the fall of the ball. Boots it out to this broadcast side.
They're out
the
here.
kick was clever to MacArthur. MacArthur from the wing. Neat pass was effective, and he gets it to Ashby, who put himself under a lot of pressure, and he's coughed it up. He's pretty frustrated as well. Advantage was paid to Potts. Potts got it to Broad. Luke Broad wheels around now.
Did well.
Goes short to Cruz. Gavin Cruz for the Hawks has had a pretty good game. Solid game by him. Up towards the wing with the kick, looking for Rotano. And it's taken over the boundary line.
Quick score thanks to the local burger company. Doncaster East have kicked a couple in a row. 4 minutes to go, and Scoresby only lead by 3 points.
it's a big game.
Huge game.
For Division 2 football. And the boundary throw in, nice tap one down, and it goes to Irvine, and he hands it out to Wrigley. Wrigley goes towards Johns, takes the mark at half forward. He hand passes it inboard to a runner. And again, it's Irvine who puts himself under pressure and just kicks it as high as he can, hoping for a teammate to run onto it. But the numbers will still be there for Glen Waverley on the outer side as Huxtable teams up with Wisniewski. He runs himself into a bit of trouble, under a lot of pressure. The boundary is the assistant to Glen Waverley Hawks as KILSYTH were just about to mount another attack. So we look towards more scores, as I reckon there's some real excitement around the grounds of the EFL. But here in Division 4, it's KILSYTH 16-14, 110, leading Glen Waverley Hawks 9-4, 25 minutes into the last term. Glen Waverley go forward again inside 50. But the defence of KILSYTH has been like a rock for most of the day. Doyle will run onto it. He's got a bit of a pressure from Robert Huxtable. It's kept in somehow. Glen Waverley might have a flying shot. They're sharing it around in the pocket. The sun's directly in my eyes. And it's KILSYTH, though, getting their numbers in the black and red's a lot easier to see. And pushing off beautifully there is Van Gulik. And the hands come out, and they're going to run through Wrigley. As the kick goes into the middle ground, and it's Ashby who's done well. He had a better first half, but he hasn't gone missing, which has been good. Gets it to Sherlock. He pushes. Well, he didn't even use his hands. He just used better judgment. And eventually, in the centre, 30 metres out, centre corridor, he takes a mark, uncontested, and he's kicked 7 goals, and he's looking for his equal best for the season on the siren. Sherlock. 7 goals today, looking for goal number 8 and 17 for his team. But this solidifies KILSYTH into the top 4 of Division 4. Sherlock puts it on the boot and it goes straight through. What a great day, Jay Sherlock. 8 goals. I'm going to say it.
8 goals, 2 he kicked.
Man of the match, in my opinion. Jay Sherlock, 8 goals. KILSYTH, 17 goals, 14, 116. Glen Waverley Hawks, 9-4. 58. Let's just go through the majors before we get special comments. For the winners, KILSYTH, Sherlock kicked 9. 8. Yep. Mullet kicked 4. And then all signals to Van Gulik, Benson, Herpik, Newman and Goodinson. For Glen Waverley Hawks, we've got Amin kicking 4, Meechin kicking 3, including the best of the day, and Dunn, that being Jesse Dunn, kicked 2 goals. Let's get some special comments before we discuss our best and get some scores around the grounds. What do you think, guys?
Look, the game was really won in the first half. On the back of a really dominant forward display by Mullet and Sherlock. KILSYTH were they got first use of the ball. It's as simple as that. They just were like a steam train. They'd get that ball out of the middle. They'd give their forwards the best opportunity. Their skills were sublime, and they really created that lead, that match-winning lead in the first half. In the second half, I thought Glen Waverley competed really well. They got themselves back into the game, not so much on the scoreboard as such, but just were competitive. And that was really important I think just for their season. Look, I mean, it's not the result that they were looking for, Damo, but at least they showed a little bit of heart.
There were instances where they did. I mean, obviously that little period in the first term when they were still in the game, but I think KILSYTH were just too strong. As you said, the Hawks made a bit of a move in the third term, but they were too far behind in the end. KILSYTH were just far too strong. They imposed so much pressure on the Glen Waverley Hawks midfielders. They used the ball a lot more cleanly in the end compared to the Glen Waverley Hawks, who just seemed to bang it on the boot, and the skill level was just a little bit low at the crucial stages. So KILSYTH far too good in the end, a dominant performance, and it really does solidify their position in the finals race, I think, going on a convincing performance like that.
Well, absolutely, and I look forward to see how they go in the finals as well, because they've got match-hardened bodies, and that's the type of football that you've got to play in finals. It's not all flashy and not all brilliant, and KILSYTH, they give themselves the best chance. They've won 9 on the trot. They've beaten every side in their division in a row, and they'll have that confidence now that they can beat anyone on their day, and I think that's the most important factor for KILSYTH moving forward. The only thing for KILSYTH is have they peaked too early, and that is a question that I guess remains to be seen. But again, KILSYTH, they're just looking the goods at the moment.
Well, they've beaten every side in the competition in the 9 weeks. They now can be considered the form side of the competition. They are now certain, in probably all certainty, without being definite, to have made the finals. They, instead of looking behind them at who might challenge them for 4th, like Glen Waverley Hawks, they are now looking at Forest Hill and Coldstream and see if they can take 2nd, as we're just about to get the song. But this has been an awesome performance by the Cougars. As we said, it was probably eliminator, but it's gone now into KILSYTH legitimate premiership chance. And Daniel will just make sure, Daniel Joyce, that you get the song, because there's going to be a lot of excitement. This was a big build-up. It was an
got the song now.
Let's go for it. KILSYTH Cougars winners today.
Donny East by 3 points, 2 minutes left. Stretcher on the ground.
Daniel, if you can get positioned in to get an interview or two, we'll probably have time. We'll just get some scores before around the grounds with Dyson Baker before the interviews here at Pinks Reserve.
I assume the man to have a chat to would be the inform Jay Sherlock. 8 goals this afternoon, a fantastic effort. It's been one of those days in the Eastern Football League. I say that frequently because it keeps throwing up some abstract results. One that wasn't so abstract was Baldwin, 21-13, 139, defeating East Ringwood 640, a 99-point win there. Credit to East Ringwood, they did win the last quarter. They were trailing by 116 at three-quarter time. Blackburn 16-9, 105, defeated South Croydon 9-16, 70. Same amount of scoring shots for the Dogs as the Panthers, but they still went down by 35 points. As we mentioned before, Croydon 13-7, 85, defeated the Waverley Blues 12-10, 82, but at the moment, as it stands, I think that that result isn't going to have much of a bearing as Scoresby were leading Doncaster East. So the last update we had was Doncaster goal, 2 minutes left. Doncaster East winning by 3 over Scoresby. There's now a stretch